Hi there. It's your second favorite DP right here, okay? No, that's Deadpool, you silly little Hufflepuff. Anyways, I'm gonna need you to shut up that pretty little mouth of yours and pay attention because the show's about to start, alright? And, I don't know about you, but I know who's my vote for sexiest ex-soldier turned pop culture show host. Alright, enough foreplay. Let's get on with the show.
Every week's an epic feat. They shed light on what's the trend. When will the madness ever end? From movies to the latest shows, you never know how far they'll go. Come aboard and take the ride. Let's uncover what's inside. Warriors of the night, here to fight. Pop culture explosions in the spotlight. Tune in for laughter and some cheers. Legends rising through the
Hey, everybody! Welcome, one and all. Today is April 29th, 2025. This is episode 202 of Pop Culture Warrior. It's the show where I stay up to date on all the ins and outs of what's happening in pop culture so you don't have to. As always, I'm your favorite host, CQ, the Pop Culture Warrior. Don't accept any substitutions or fake news, other pretend hosts that be trying to take over these airways. They're not important. But tonight, I am joined by everyone's favorite co-host. It's below host. It's less than. There's like the less than symbol. Host. Great. CQ greater than co-host is the equation. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, he's the man. He's the myth. He's the mercenary of mischief himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Mad Mike. That's
when you're not on, I'm not doing any more fucking shows with you. For you. So we'll do 6 shows every year now.
Welcome back.
Can you call yourself, like, I don't know, the of anything if you only work part-time? That's like, I'm the best fucking shift cook at McDonald's. Like,
I mean,
about that.
it is what it is. I mean, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? I'm the greatest. The greatest has ever been.
Making shit up. Whatever.
That's the greatest thing. When you have your own show, you can just make shit up. That's the best part of it.
That's all I did last week was just talk shit about you for an hour.
Oh man. Yeah. Welcome everybody. Welcome. So much to go over. Also, stay tuned. Hour 2. I don't know if people remember this, but we do interviews on this channel.
No way.
It feels like not for 2025, that's for sure. There's been shit just going on in the background, but
well, you're 2 shows deep. I mean, you gotta get warmed up.
Touche.
It's April. You got two shows under your belt. Get the ball rolling here.
Listen.
Before the summer break.
Listen. Actually, I'll be off next week. So, listen. Okay. Tonight we're joined by an excellent actor named Brian Norris. Really cool dude. He's been in a ton of stuff. Including this 4th season of The Cleaning Lady, which is a hit show. If you watch The Cleaning Lady on Fox, he's on it as the what is it called? Like the cowboy hat guy or something. Cowboy hat, something like that. Anyway, let's see who's out there real quick, just to give a shout out. I see Anubis. Hey, it's Insomniac. What's up? He said CQ better be back this week. There you go. This is what I'm talking
Those
about.
Are 2 people that that are bots. Your own bots.
Oh man. Wow, a microphone that actually works. Oh shit. I heard some things about last week. Someone's got a microphone that works up in this beach. That's what's up.
It was Nieves that wasn't going in there. I don't know why.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I'll never trust Mad Mike again. Yes,
Is what it is.
Best host when I show up. I know, Billy. I know. Let's see. Scott says, man, gaming's been crazy lately. We have Expedition 33, Oblivion Remastered, Xbox teaming up with Steam, so now PS exclusives are about to be single digits on the next generation. Yeah, man, lots to cover in gaming. Lots going on.
Cleanup, which I found about last week.
It's fun.
I gotta download that shit.
It's fun. I've been playing. I already beat it. It's fun. Let's see.
Did you clean up all the dead bodies?
I cleaned up I 100%ed that bitch. All right. I 100%.
Could we call you the cleaning lady?
They call me the cleaning lady. What can I say? Yeah, man, the last mission's a bitch because it's like a multi-story warehouse, but it has this like conveyor belt system, so you can like throw bodies on the conveyor belt. It's just they go down the assembly line. It's fucking hilarious. It's great. It makes it so much easier. It makes cleaning so much easier. We have a conveyor belt. Anyway, man, so much. I feel like I haven't been around forever, man. I feel like I've missed so many things. But you know,
Did you see the Predator Badlands?
Yeah,
preview?
I was surprised by that, especially since we have that animated Predator stuff coming. I was not expecting to see a live action Predator movie. And I don't know how I feel about it.
What? You don't listen to my show? I talked about it.
I was
It was like
somewhere.
November, December. Anyways,
I I don't know, man. I
I saw the preview and then I'm like, do we need like
yeah.
like them without the costume fighting? Like they're gross without the armor on.
Yeah, they look way less cool.
Yeah.
No,
And then it's like you're battling all these things, and it's like, dude, like a 50-year-old cop that should be retired beat you. Too old for this shit. That's a Danny Glover Predator 2 reference.
That's true. But also that little tiny Indian girl too.
Yeah, right?
Native American
with a fucking spear
bow
and
and
a fucking bow and
got
arrow,
she beat him with mud and a stick.
which is also like a big like the one took out a whole SEAL team or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and then but previously you got beat by a lady with a spear. It's like, who did they send over there? It's like they sent over the ship bags or something.
Don't forget mud. This is what I keep telling you. It's like, remember, it's like the rich people that pay to be in the tree stand and hunt deer. And like, so they're not actually good at it. They just need an easy prey. And then once in a while, the deer covers itself in mud, climbs into the tree thing, and stabs you with a stick. You know, and like that's just
with their antler.
Yeah, with their antlers.
Spears you with their fucking antler because you're an idiot.
Yeah, I mean that's just what happens.
That's right. I forgot you said that. That's exactly what it is. That'd be a good twist.
That'd be a great.
Copyright, patent pending.
They show they do a smash cut to their home world, and they're like, "Whatever happened to Bob? That fucking idiot! He went on one of those excursions to that planet."
At the end of Badlands, like that guy beats all these whatever crazy monsters, and he gets like promoted, and then you see some like Bezos looking predator, like, I'm gonna go to this place.
I'm going to Earth. I'm ready. I'm going to Earth. Anyway, real quick, not for nothing, I just think it's cool. We all know I'm a huge let me zoom out my camera. We all know I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. Where is it? There it is, up there. That's all my Back to the Future stuff, and obviously that. But check this out. Maryland has scratcher tickets. The little lottery scratch, official Maryland lottery scratcher. It's Back to the Future 40th anniversary scratchers.
You scroll it down so I can see it.
There.
No, back up. There you go.
There you go. So pretty cool. It has like, it says top prize $10,000. It's only a $2 ticket. $10,000. You can get the gigawatt bonus if you reveal 88.
Gigawatt.
And yeah, it's got all the stuff, and then like it's an instant win if any of the stuff says 1955. But yeah, I mean it's cool. I'm a huge Back to the Future. In fact, I live in the Maryland area. Yes, I didn't even know about this. There's a channel I follow that's Back to the Future content, and they were like bitching and complaining because they're like, it's not fair. I don't live in Maryland. It's the only state that has the Back to the Future game. But I was like, oh shit. I went to my local supermarket, little scratcher machine, and lo and behold, there it was. So I bought like 10 of them. I won some money. Not much, a couple bucks. But I kept one unscratched just because I wanted to show it off. I'll scratch it now.
I thought you were going to be like, I'm not going to scratch it. I'm like, it's probably 10 grand.
It's the 10 grand. You'll see me halfway through the show be like, I gotta go. Just can't believe it. This show's over.
This show's over. Just get up and walk away. Wait, just keep talking, Mike.
Scott says, so all anyone needs you to do to buy their product is to make it Back to the Future themed. Listen, I'm not saying for sure, but it definitely increases the chances. Yes. If there were a Back to the Future themed adult toy.
He already has it.
Adult toy? I might get it. Just to have, it's shaped like the hoverboard or something. Which, man, Remember when Nike did that? Like, it was like the 20th anniversary, 25th anniversary, whatever it was. And they're like, we're going to make the functioning, like self-lacing. Dude, those things go for thousands of dollars now. Even at the time, they were like 400, $500 to buy one. I was like, that's crazy. I'm not paying $500
You had
for.
to wait in line and shit. There was only
Yeah,
like
it
I
was.
think 100 or 1,000.
It was crazy. It was crazy. But now they're online for like thousands. I mean, there's a lot of bootleg versions, but like the real ones are like thousands and thousands of dollars. So one day when this show, when I sell out and I sell this show to I don't know, Spotify or iHeartRadio or one of those, or Joe Rogan, I don't know, Bezos, fucking Elon Musk. Whenever I sell out to somebody.
You mean when you stop doing it and then I get tired of doing it and then it just dies? Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Eventually, yes.
I gotta move my light over. The fucking big head keeps blocking it. Anyways.
But yeah.
You could just fucking make your own.
I mean, self-lacing.
I guess it would require like engineering skills.
Yeah, that seems way complicated.
Work ethic.
Yeah, it's talent, a drive, dedication, things not synonymous with Pop Culture Warrior. With CQ and Pop Culture Warrior. What else? Let's see. Somebody says, let me tell you about this cool Easter egg underwear every store started to carry called Calvin Klein. Yes, Calvin Klein underwear. The classic purple Calvin Klein underwear. God, I miss that shit. I gotta rewatch it, man. It's been a minute.
What? I watch that shit like every week. It's always in the hotel whenever I go to a hotel too.
No. Yeah, I usually watch it once or twice a year, just because I love it. In fact, I gotta bring it back up to my kid. He liked
rookie numbers.
Rookie numbers. Win 10,000. Help Mad Mike out with better streaming equipment.
It's true. Laptop couldn't handle the power.
Woo! Oh man, one day, it'll happen. It'll happen. Is that bright? That seems bright. That's a little bright.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's so much, dude. There's the things I can say and the things I can't say. Well, first, I mean, Thunderbolts is coming out this week. When are you going to see the Thunderbolts?
Never heard of her. That sounds like a gay porn. I'm in.
I mean, you would know. You started most of them.
I don't know. I was gonna go Friday, but I got in at the old F1 Grand Prix Miami, so I'm gonna go do that.
Ooh, maybe some content for the page, man. Put some content on that page.
Post Smith's page, maybe. I don't know. Is he still doing a show?
I don't think so. He does it about as often as I do mine. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it's tomorrow, Thursday night. I don't know. I don't make plans. I just show up.
You just do it with the Mrs.
Where
Mad
you gonna
Mike.
see it in like 20 minutes?
So I will say that I was invited to an early preview tomorrow, in fact, but I'm not actually going to be able to make it because I already had a prior commitment that I really can't back out of. So I'm going to go see it on Friday.
Just tell the Boy Scouts you don't care about them and go to the damn movie.
You can't have, a fatal four-way with, with one dude missing. It's just not the same. The devil's three-way or something like that. I don't know what it's called. The devil's three. Anyway, hey, Jake in the chats. What's up, man? Hello.
It would be good to see a good movie. Well, a good Marvel movie.
I mean, here's the hoping. You know what I'm saying? Here's the hoping. Whether it's, look, I've heard good things. I've heard good things. I've heard mixed reviews from people I don't care about, right? Like the critics that don't get it gave it mixed reviews, and like the nerdy nerds, the guys that love this stuff, while they are always pretty optimistic, like they're saying it's really good, really really good. So I will take that with. Hey Pete, how you doing, bud?
Yeah, I never listened to the critics. I don't give a shit.
They're
paid to shit on movies, and then they push some crap that like nobody enjoys watching for some stupid like it has the best lighting of any movie ever made.
that
It's like
lighting
I don't go
is.
to a movie to watch the lighting. Like get the fuck out of here. I want to be entertained. Paid to shit on
Oop,
movies,
yep,
and
I
then they
just
push
did like a
some
double. There we go.
oh, shit, mess my shit.
Got some guy named Waves in the chat. What is this channel about? I mean, it's kind of in the title. I mean, really, if you think about it, it's kind of in the title. It's Pop Culture Warrior. It's where we talk about pop culture things, all the pop culture goodness.
We usually just talk about ourselves most of the time.
Insomniac says, yo, CQ, you play Blueprints yet? Let me tell you about Blueprints, okay? Okay? Yes, I played it and I am addicted to it. It is my latest obsession and addiction. If you haven't played Blueprints, go out and play it. It's my early front runner for Game of the Year. Hands down. I mean, we're only in April. Front runner Game of the Year. And there's a lot of great games.
What
Like
is it about?
so Blueprints, which it's a clever play on words because it's like an architectural game, Blueprints. Get it? Like blueprints, but it's Blueprints. Anyway, the whole yes, it's I said that game has so much freaking game inside of it. Yes, yes, on so many levels, yes. So simply put, you've inherited a mansion, and each day you will go inside said mansion, and or I shouldn't say you've inherited. It's left to you in a will, but to earn the inheritance, you have to find room 46. And it sounds weird at first, but if you play it, you'd understand. But when you go into the building, there are 45 rooms. And when you open a door to a room, it is randomly generated. And like you'll get 3 options of what that room could be, and then you would pick it, you know, the parlor, the den, the hallway, the bedroom, you know, and then it gets, you know, the boiler room and the pump room and like, you know, the foundation, all these different crazy things. And you'll find more and more rooms. Point is, you're trying to find room 46, and you will spend a long time trying to find this room. And every day you like, because you only get so many steps, right? Like let's call them like action points or whatever. I don't know, whatever you call it. But basically, every time you go in and out of a room, it costs you a step. At the end of each day, you restart from the beginning, and the house resets. So it'll be different rooms every time. You know what I'm saying? And you're just, and it's this puzzle of trying to find room 46. And when I say you will spend a lot of time trying to find room 46, it's a giant puzzle of a maze that you're trying to constantly figure out. And it's things are, you know, constantly rearranging, and there's different things you know, tools and key cards and puzzle pieces and all these different things. It took me in game, not real life, but in game, it took me 23 days to get to room 46. And then the game is over because you found room 46. But when I tell you the what makes this game different is that when you do that and you're like, yes, I did it, the game actually really opens up. It is not going to make a lot of sense, but when I say this game is like an onion of mystery, and it's just layer after layer after layer. So like you'll go through the same room 3 times, and you're like, okay, just as an example, you go into the parlor. He's like, all right, there's 2 doors. I know that. There's a safe in the room, you know, which eventually you can figure out the combination for that. Or there's a puzzle box in the room, and you figure out how to do the puzzle box. And then you always go through it, and it's always there, and you're always see it one way. But then later on, you get a clue, and that clue leads you to another thing, and that leads you to another thing, and then you go back to that room and you see it completely different all of a sudden. Like, you're like, oh my God, I never put that means this, and there's a thing, and there's a reason these things are like this. There's so much.
Is this a
It's
mobile
so much.
game?
No, I don't know if it's a mobile. It's on Game Pass. I know that. I don't know if it's an
Sounds
whatever.
like the most fucking boring game I've ever heard in my life.
It's so good. It's so good. Like, you have to like puzzles, obviously. Like, it's constantly keeping you thinking. And like, they even recommend like keep a journal with like certain things you find and certain clues, because you'll want to remember, because a clue you find in one room might solve a puzzle in another room, but you might not find them on the same run, right?
It's just too much work for no reward.
It's fucking
And then there's
awesome.
you're getting nothing out of it. I don't give a like, it's just, no. I am doing all the work, and now I got to keep a journal. And then what do you give me? Okay, I found the room, and that's fucking it. Like, get the fuck out of
Dude,
here. I don't get to kill anyone. There's not like a room full of sex toys. I can bang some dudes or something. Like, fuck, there's no
You're
point in playing this
uncovering the
game.
mystery. It's about the mystery. Like, do you go to an escape room and like, hey, can I fuck any of the things in here? Can I shove any of these things in my ass?
Exactly what I do. Yes, that's what I do when I walk into any room.
I can just imagine the guy in the escape room saying, "Sir, please stop putting those things in your butthole. That's not
break
part."
that, break that, F that, break that, put that in my butthole.
Oh God, Jesus Christ!
So all Marines are taught to enter a room.
Yes. Yes, it's amazing. It's this generation's missed puzzle-solving game with roguelike mechanics. Yes.
Myst was way better.
Scott says Expedition 33 game of the year. I don't know, Scott. Didn't you just say a couple days ago that freaking what was the other one? Oblivion remastered game of the year. You call it a different game of the year every episode. I'm putting my foot down. Now, I haven't played Expedition 33 yet. I've heard great things.
It's
on my list.
It was good, if I remember right.
It's on my list.
It sounds better than fucking Architect or whatever the fuck you just talked about for 20 minutes.
Listen.
It got a 9 out of 10 on Steam, 9 out of 10 on IGN. Expedition. What is this about?
Yeah, Expedition 33. Anyway, so yes, I played Blueprints. Yes, I'm addicted to it. I've gotten so far.
RPG pass.
So for those that know Blueprints, I found room 46. Yes, I got past that. I got the throne room, which you know is the throne room. But
is there a chair in it?
There's a throne, yeah. But what's more, because it takes real digging to figure out, is to how to reclaim the crown. That's a thing that's only hinted at throughout the game. And I watched a couple tutorials because I knew I was supposed to do something, but I had no idea what I was supposed to do. But once I watched the tutorials, I was able to pull it off, because you have to get the scepter, and you have to get the crown, and then you have to get the cursed effigy, and somehow bring them all to the throne room, which is very, very hard to do. But your boy did it. I reclaimed the throne, which is like supposed to be like one of the true endings of the thing, whatever. Mason, hi. Hi back at you, Mason.
You have no life.
Yeah. I like video games. What can I say? What else? Lots of things in the news, in the media, in the happenings. What are some news stories? Where are my notes? Where are my notes at?
I don't know. I thought I sent them a bunch more crap, and it's like nothing's in here. It's not going through or what?
So, first off, congrats, man. You're a soccer guy. I know you watch these football. Football. Did you see that Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney's team, Wrexham AFC, has been promoted for like the third straight year, which is never happened ever, I believe.
Yeah. It's amazing what happens when you dump a bunch of money and celebrities into a team.
Right. For those that don't know, and I'll be honest, I only recently learned this because I started watching Welcome to Wrexham, which is a great show, by the way. Soccer has different leagues obvious, but there is a hierarchy to it. What is it? Premier League, Championships League, League One, League Two, some other no name basically. And like obviously that you want your team to be in the higher leagues, but unlike our professional sports, you can be demoted and promoted based on how well you do or how badly you do. Relegated, yes. Demoted, promoted, whatever. So Wrexham for 20 years had been in like the most bottom league
Which
possible.
Is like high school.
Yeah. It's like no, I would equate it
like
to semi-pro. Yeah, semi-pro.
Small town. So it's like a single A baseball or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say single A. So
you could like show up and like sit on the field, that type of shit.
Yes.
Anyone want to play? Our goalie has the flu.
Matthew wants to talk about the Major Richard Starr Act. Listen, I'm all about the Starr Act. Honestly, I'm a big proponent of it. This isn't the time or place. If you're a vet, look up the Major Richard Starr Act. It's of huge importance. I'm actually one of the people that helped. I did campaigning to help promote the Richard Starr Act, but unfortunately, this is Pop Culture War, a little more skewed towards entertainment and less about politics and news and things like that.
Yeah, there's like 4 other shows you could talk about that.
Yes, any other week, any other day of the week. WCF Nation Radio, you can talk about Richard Starr Act. It's a really great thing. It's really important. By all means, everybody go out there. When this show's over, check it out. It's really important. What I was saying is, so these guys bought the team. And the first 2 years that they owned it, like, did okay. You know, they dumped a bunch of money into it.
The first year, I think they made the playoffs or something.
Yeah, but they lost.
The second year, they got promoted.
Yeah, this was year 2, 3, and 4. So basically, they got
promoted.
They
got all that Deadpool Wolverine money.
Yeah. So they got promoted from the bottom to League, bottom to League One, and then, bottom to League Two, then from League Two to League One. And with this win over the past weekend, they have now upgraded to Championships League, which is, again, kudos to those guys. That's it's a huge accomplishment.
TV, you can watch it.
Yeah.
Here, anyways.
Yeah. So they, like, it's crazy to me to think that, like, if by some miracle they were to win the Championship League next year, that these guys would be playing at the level of like Manchester United and like these
they're
huge.
On their way down. I don't know if you don't watch it, but they're on their way out.
Yeah, well, whatever.
They might be taking their spot.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Would that be?
But you know what I'm saying? Like these huge programs that have been legendary for decades. Like, to think that Wrexham AFC is going to be there,
that team is like it's owned by the town or whatever, so they had to like interview and shit to like get a stake in it. I think they own part of it, right?
Well, no,
they had to do all these interviews, and it's like the first time I think an American people or whatever got in. But
yeah, and now Tom Brady owns a team. So that's a thing.
Fuck it.
He's got to do everything to ruin everything for everyone.
Yeah. See how the ratings do this.
So that's all. I was just gonna say shout out to Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney for winning. And
it was Rob's idea, didn't he get?
Yeah, he
him on Ryan on. He wanted to do it.
He suckered him in. He had been trying to buy the Eagles.
Running businesses. I mean, he hasn't failed at anything yet. So.
Yeah, give the guy credit for someone who's very little known, like has such a massive imprint on between It's Always Sunny, which is run for like 16 damn years, and then he's the guy behind Mythic Quest, which went it just got canceled, but 4 seasons on Apple TV, which is again to do something. That's 4 seasons on Apple TV is unheard of because, well, Apple TV's only been around for like 4 years. So that's huge. And then obviously
funny. All this stuff's funny.
Yeah.
I was talking about Ryan Reynolds though. That guy has like so many companies that he makes successful. It's insane.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and he's smart because he flips them quick. Like he
Yeah.
bought Mint Mobile, bunch of promotion stuff, flipped it for like a bill. He bought the what was it? The gin. He had the Aviator gin. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
ran that up and then sold that for a
Sold
mint.
it.
Yeah,
And then
man. It's like,
everyone else now has a liquor, like anyone.
yep. Anyone has a liquor.
Hey,
Stay
by the
tuned for
way, if
Pop
you
Culture
guys want to
Warrior.
get Pop Culture Warrior toilet whiskey, it's coming soon to our
I
website.
squeeze it with my butt cheeks. As how, they say pressed. I use my butt to press it. It's amazing. It's great. Jesus Christ, the things we talk about on this show, I've lost it.
God.
What else was I gonna say? What else? In this is sad. So The Accountant 2 came out, and I'm sure you saw the headline I'm going to talk about. The Accountant 2 came out and is not performing well in theaters, which is unfortunate because I saw the movie and it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's entertaining. I don't think the first one did that good in theaters, though.
That's true. That's true.
I watched it on streaming, but I think it didn't come out in 2020-ish.
2019, 2020, somewhere in
Yeah, it
there.
was like around COVID, so maybe that's why. I don't know, but
I don't know.
I was surprised they're making another one. But anyways,
I mean, yeah, that for sure. I don't know, man. It's just, it's a bummer because
I don't think they advertised it enough.
that probably has something to do with it. Because you can't say, movies are down. Look, Minecraft made $1 bajillion.
And they have a commercial every 2 minutes leading up to it for like 6 months.
That's true too. And
Same
then
thing
the
with
Happy
Thunderbolts,
Meals and
like
all that
that's
stuff.
out.
Yeah.
The one that beat it is Star Wars. I've seen commercials for that more than I've seen the fucking Accountant 2. And they were talking about that shit on the radio. Like radio, I don't listen to. I listen to streaming or podcasts and shit, but they're talking about that shit like on talk radio and all that shit.
Yeah. So the news story, let me not bury the lead, is Ben Affleck and John Bernthal's action sequel is getting burned at the box office by a 20-year-old Star Wars movie. So yes, it is. Now, there is some hype because also last weekend was like, what was it, like the 30th anniversary? 20th anniversary?
Yeah.
Something like that
They had that big Star Wars
celebration.
Shit.
Star Wars celebration was happening in Japan. Good friend of mine was over there covering it. And I think he did one of the panels. He was hosting one of the panels too.
You got Andor that's out, and
yeah,
and they released a bunch of merch for it. Like they had I think popcorn buckets and shit even for that.
It's true.
I don't have a fucking Excel customized Accountant 2 spreadsheet thing I can download or whatever. I don't know.
It's a popcorn bucket is just wrapped with an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, like fucking market it. I don't know. That's not my job.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't have to market it. Just show like 1,000 previews every 10 minutes.
Yeah, like I honestly don't think I saw a preview for The Accountant 2. I honestly don't think I saw one.
I've seen more fucking Dunkin' commercials with Ben Affleck than I saw The Accountant 2. I think I stumbled upon that it was coming out when you fucking didn't do a show and I had to do research. And I was like, saw it and I was like, oh shit, they made a part 2?
Why is he going to an accountant movie? And like I said, look, I honestly thought it was a good movie.
It's a lot better than a lot of shit that's out. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it.
It's what it is. It's just marketing. I don't know. And there's a lull. And now it's not gonna make any more money because you got freaking Thunderbolts coming out.
Thunderbolts gonna take all the money.
Whatever it made, that's what it made.
That's what it made. Yep. The only people going to watch it are people that like went to the theater to see Thunderbolts. It was sold out. And like, well, there's no one watching Accountant 2.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I'm here. I guess I should watch it. I don't want to watch it, but yeah, it's worth it. Like that,
It'll have a big streaming run, that's for sure.
I think it'll do. I think a lot of people look at it and go, "I'll watch it when it's streaming." Like,
Yeah.
honestly,
That's where I watched it, and it was great for that purpose. That's
and
where I watch 90% of my shit.
it's
Cheap. Shit's expensive.
There
Not
are
everyone
certain
has fucking pop culture warrior money.
there are certain experiences that, like, you want to see it in the big screen, I think. And I'm trying to think, like, there was anything inherently like, man, you got to see this on the big screen, and I don't think there was. I think it makes it, it's more enjoyable, right? Because you big theater and big sound, but
You can have all that at home, and you don't got to deal with people.
yeah.
I don't have to have sticky floors or sticky seats or
There was this
interact
guy
with other human beings in a
Man.
public setting.
There was this guy sitting next to me that I don't know if he, I don't judge people, whatever. Heavy
fucking
heavy
do.
set man, but he looked like he had just ran to the theater. Like he was in like running shorts.
So he looked like you while we were trying to fucking interview you. Got it. It's really good, guys.
No. But he was rather sweaty, and he had a backpack, and he kept rummaging through the backpack for different things throughout the movie. And
It's a snack pack.
at one point,
I put more snacks in here. I couldn't eat all of them already.
oh my god, dude, you're terrible. You're terrible.
Is
But yeah.
what it is. I saw
Yeah.
a lady fucking brought Chick-fil-A. Some old lady had Chick-fil-A in her purse the last time I was at the movies. She busted that shit out. I was like, I know for damn well. And she was in like the front row, and the people walk in.
Oh yeah.
The guy like looked right at it and just walked out. I was like, I know for fucking damn well you guys don't serve no fucking chicken sandwiches and pickles up in this bitch. And she had the waffle fries right out there. Like, I swear she brought her own fucking like tray that she set on her lap. I was like,
Probably.
motherfucker, dude. And she was like getting sauces out, and they're like, I'm like, can you shut up? I'm trying to watch a fucking previews, man. God damn, you're not at Chick-fil-A.
Oh, that's
why I don't
funny.
go out in public.
Oh man, that's terrible. You're terrible.
Almost shit. It's like fucking rappers crunching. Crumbling.
Let's see. Let's see. Scott says the opening of Star Wars Episode 3, where you see Anakin and Obi-Wan flying, and the scene cuts down into a giant space battle. That's probably the only great scene that I really think I really enjoyed better on the big screen than at home. Fair point. Fair point. Some of that Star Wars stuff, it looks better on the big screen. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's funny
Maybe
for that. Did you see or know anything about this Until Dawn?
I only saw the trailer.
Yeah, I saw that too, but it's a game apparently.
Yeah.
And now I see it's PlayStation. That's why I don't know about it.
Yeah. Yes. It is a it was a very popular PlayStation
Fucking looks
exclusive
good.
game.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'd see it.
Yeah.
Nice.
The horror is getting a real big push lately. A lot of horror stuff. A lot of horror
I've been
stuff.
saying it's good for years. Nobody listened.
Yeah, a lot of horror stuff is getting the push. What was the other one? This is Final Destination. It was another horror one that I just saw the preview for. I was like, oh shit, that actually looks.
I know what you did last summer.
That's well, I don't know if that
Final
looks good,
Destination.
but that's coming back. They're bringing back the old Freddie Prinze. Freddie Prinze, man, he's coming back. What's up with The Last of Us?
You watched The Last of Us, isn't? Yeah, so
okay. I'm gonna
Andor is getting good too, but
I'm going to out myself right now. I haven't watched The Last of Us only because I canceled my HBO Max subscription. So, because
So just wait until it's like it's only got 2 more episodes left. They're on
yeah,
3. They only do like 5, 4.5, whatever.
2.5.
So wait another year for them to air all 5 episodes because it
Right.
takes them like a year and a half, and then subscribe and then watch it all at once,
I got too early
or just
today.
read about it.
No, yeah. Here's the thing. I know the whole story. I've played the
Get a
games.
free trial and watch it.
I know everything about it. Now, obviously, I've heard also that they've pivoted certain parts of the game and changed certain aspects of it. But the big reveal is still the big reveal of what we all knew what was going to happen. What we all knew was going to happen happened.
I didn't know until everyone on the fucking interwebs has to talk about it.
Yes, they have to
Jesus
spoil
Christ. This is why I don't go on the internet. It's 1,000 CQs all over the place trying to spoil everything for me.
First of all,
I can't believe what happened. Did you see? Just wait. 5 minutes and 47 seconds in. You're not going to believe what happens. Don't blink.
Listen, I don't appreciate the
You went to
attack
prom.
on my character
Yeah.
of my
And
integrity.
why am I on the show? That's all I know.
That's I sit here and I take all the shit for all the not being here, saying the same thing over, not doing all the stuff that's accurate. But I will not, sir, let you slander my. I am a like ninjutsu master of not spoiling things. Like I take pride in the fact I got into an internet war with the actual King Smith when he said I spoiled Thor because I said the goats were funny. And I got into a huge fight with him over it because I'm like, I don't
You didn't know
spoil
goats were in
shit.
the movie, and you spoiled that there was
I
goats
don't
in the movie.
spoil shit. I don't spoil shit. Point is.
Anyways, before I forget, the
Yeah.
problem I have with this season
Mhm.
is if you see the memes or whatever, I don't know, you're on the internet, so
Yeah.
you could see them, and they do excellent with them. It's like they keep fucking doing extreme close-ups on that girl's face, and it's like, so it makes her look super like fat. Like it's like if you zoomed in on Smith or whatever, his head would be.
Yeah,
And it's like this wide angle, so it's like she looks like she's got a giant fucking head with 2 little eyes, and
yeah.
it's like, why? And I thought, like, did she gain weight or something? I don't know. And it's like, no, it's like they just
They're using like fisheye
keep
lens.
going too
and then go
close to her head. It's like,
closer.
zoom out a little. Like, fuck.
I mean, look.
Goes like the
Again.
button got stuck. I'm
No.
really 100 yards back. I can't go any further back.
This thing's stuck on auto zoom.
You
No.
filmed the whole thing. It's my bad. I just got this stuff.
Again, I don't make fun of anyone. I mean, people live the way they live, look the way they live. I don't care. I will just say, factually speaking, I do think she has a bigger face than most girls her age. I feel like she's got kind of a wide face, and kind of a high hairline. So just
Well,
again, factually speaking, if you lined up a bunch of people, she has a distinct look. We'll just say that. But yeah, when you extreme close up that shit, it's aggressive.
I thought it was like, I'm like, wait, I don't remember this from season 1. Like, she looked like normal.
Yeah, she just.
And then this, it's like the first 2, and then the 3rd episode.
Well, again, the
there's a
first season
couple
was
of
shot like
scenes
5
where
years
they
ago.
Zoomed out. Yeah, that's true.
She's eaten since then, you know? She's
But it's like,
put on
no,
a little.
it's just how they filmed it. Because there was a couple in this last episode where it's like a little further back, and you're like, oh, there she goes. She looks normal again. Because I'm like, why does she look like, oh, she looks kind of weird this season? I'm like, it's like throwing me off. I'm having trouble tracking the story because it's not like I'm focused on. And didn't help. I saw the meme, and then I'm like, and then now that's all I see is these fucking memes, and I'm like, God damn it, I can't focus on the story.
Like she's had too many run-ins with walkers slamming her on her face. Apparently, I don't know.
We grabbed a pic.
Like Scott says, there goes Bella Ramsey, not added to the list of names, not coming on the show. Bella Ramsey, everybody.
Word coming out. Yeah, I'll get her in like 20 years.
Well.
Anyways, and I give it to whoever like does the special effects on the people because they keep giving them like mushroom butt faces. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. So guy pops out of the ground, complete mushroom ass. It's like that's how they kill you. Mushrooms are just as fucking perverted as we are. They're like, here's a butt on your face now.
Let me just say, because this is a great tie-in. It's not even a segue, but a tie-in. You still watching The Studio?
No, I only watched the one. I've been sidetracked. So
I will spoil only this aspect. I just said I don't do spoilers, but it's relevant to what we're talking about.
I'm getting intrigued.
It's not story point, but in the most recent episode, they're because he's arguing about like, oh, cinema is art, and the trailer of the movie he's cutting, I think it was called like Dukeopolis, like Dookie-opolis or Dookie Apocalypse kind of is Dukeopolis, and it's starring. I love this. It's starring Johnny Knoxville, and what was the one kid from Hunger Games, but he was like less known. Kid would look like he had Down syndrome. That dude.
Not Thor's brother, the other guy.
No, yeah. The other one, the annoying one. Anyway,
he was like pretend like he liked the girl too,
yeah,
whatever, and he pretend married her.
So it's the two of them in a zombie apocalypse movie, but the way the infection is spread is through the zombies' diarrhea. Yes, that's that guy. Nice. But zombie diarrhea is how the virus is spread. So when you were like butt face zombie, I was like, oh man, wait, man, you gotta. They do an extreme close up.
Like, fucking shut down. That's how you see like Trump. We gotta shut Taco Bell so this won't spread.
Oh man. Johnny Knoxville would make a great ghoul in the Fallout show.
At Taco Bell, like
yeah.
Some Mexican pizzas.
Yeah. I got it. Don't you dare besmirch the name of Taco Bell. The good name of the folks at Taco
Mexican
Bell.
food. I would never.
That is genuine.
I'm gonna go to Mexico and be like, where's the Taco Bell?
Can I get a Crunchwrap Supreme, please? And they're like, what? Anyway.
Like, what the fuck?
Anywho's it's. Okay, I'd rather have a remake than this weird ass stories like Zombie Diary. What?
Yeah, that's fucking.
It's good. It's funny.
Great writing.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious. One other story too in more sad news, because again, we've seen the industry is getting really just ripped apart. But EA, the fine folks of all the EA games, has cut around 300 more jobs and has gone ahead and canceled the new Titanfall game that they were working on. The story says, on top of the layoffs at EA today that affected around 300 people, the company has canceled another project at Respawn Entertainment, which was reportedly an extraction shooter set in the Titanfall universe, codenamed R7. So that's kind of a bummer, man, because...
Is it tariffs or Doge?
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be Doge. It wouldn't be Doge. But I don't know. We've seen, even going back a year, last year, I remember it was like Bloody Sunday for game developers. Like they were just hacking and slashing away. I don't know, man. I don't know. Is it a thing where budgets are too high? The games cost too much to make, and I don't know. I don't know.
Take too long to make is what it is. And you got to think they have like major things they want to come out with, and they have all these staff, and then you got other games, and they got whatever 300 people working on one game, and it's not going anywhere or whatever, and they're like, fucking cut that shit. Let's get Madden. We have to rework, the fucking skins.
I'm trying to. We've touched on it before, but I'm going to bring it up again, in that we've gotten to an era of games where I mean, it's like on par. It's damn near on par with like real life. Like they're just getting so photorealistic. Look, you can see the fucking ingrown hair on his fucking cheek. And it's like, do we need
That
that?
took 6 months to do,
Yeah, and
and
probably
you
$1
see
million.
it in a half a second of the game or whatever.
Yeah,
It's like,
and it's like, do we need that? Because honest to God,
no,
you
we got
know,
people playing fucking puzzle games where they have to find a room for fuck's sake
I
for
was gonna
free
just
on
say
the
that.
goddamn
I was
Game
gonna say
Pass,
that.
and then you want to spend $100 to see some guy's fucking hairy nipple.
Well, okay, bet let's do this too.
It's like
I'm
the
gonna.
same basic games. As long as you have a different story, people play it. Like nobody gives a shit about the like graphics and shit. Look at Minecraft. It's like the #1 game of all time. It looks like shit.
I want to say
Can't
the
see anything. I
number.
don't even know. Like it was a white guy until the movie came out.
So, the shit you say is hysterical. No, so check this out. So last year's game of the year was Balatro, the card poker game. That
That's
yeah,
exactly. It's like with solitaire.
it literally. Now check this out. It was made by a single anonymous designer. That's crazy to me, you know, and that wins game of the year. And yet you have these studios that are making these $80
Assassin's
billion
Creed for
dollar.
5 fucking years. Grand
Yeah.
Theft Auto for 35 fucking years. Fucking last time they had a Grand Theft Auto, Star Wars was in the fucking theater.
I
And it
mean,
wasn't up against the accountant.
yeah. I mean, that's true. That's true.
So it's like, and that like my kids play fucking Roblox, which is like shit that like random people create
Yeah.
on the thing. Like I know your
Yeah.
kids play it too. It's like, and that shit's like they sell like a ton like gift cards. That's all they want and shit for that. And that's all like what is it, 8-bit or whatever. And it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. You have
Yeah.
12,000 people on staff, and it takes you 5 years to make one game.
Like, and that's exactly it. I don't think you can substitute good story or good game mechanics with good visuals. It does not work. We've seen it time and time again. The most beautiful game you can play, if it's not fun, if it's not interesting, it's not doing it, it's not gonna make money.
Yeah,
It's just
like
how it works.
every game, like all these highly anticipated games, and they look good, like Cyberpunk and shit like that, but it doesn't fucking work. Like it doesn't function, and then
Yeah,
nobody plays it, and then it's like, okay, we fixed it all. Like 3 or 6 months later, and it's like, no, everyone already gave up.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Avengers, like all these games.
yeah. And Scott's theory is that they decided to cut costs now rather than be the next Concord. I mean,
Seems like they're on their way there. I mean, Madden and the NCAA can only carry them so far.
like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's the other thing.
I've
It's like all the basic mechanics are like they should be readily available, like easy to just skin over, and then you just have a story.
yeah. So it's weird because I've kind of seen both sides of it. Obviously, as a player, as someone who uses it, but I've talked to a lot of people in the industry, and I've talked to a lot of developers and things, and like there are so many tools now that do the heavy lifting, so to speak. You have the Unity engine and the Unreal 4 or 5 engine, like all these that are basically, like you said, they're frameworks. You just throw the skins on there, and that does a lot of the heavy lifting. So, it really makes me wonder, like, where's the majority of this money going to? Because, you know, it's not gameplay a lot of times. It's
There's
not
probably people
story.
clocking 12 hours with overtime, and they're not really working or something.
I don't know.
And
I
that's
don't
why they're
know.
getting rid of them.
I don't know. It's one of those things where um
We'll get Musk on it.
don't, like, I don't know. Yeah. And then you have win. Look at the team behind Marvel Rivals. You have great games that come out and people love it. They're a huge win, and they still cut the whole studio down.
Yeah. I mean, and there's not much to that game either. So it's like, and that beats out. I mean, there's no other big studio games out right now, but
Yeah. Honestly, dude, a lot of the games that I've played over the last year that I've really, really liked are games that weren't sequels, that weren't huge AAA, titles. They were new. They were, smaller
well,
games, indie games, interesting games. But
excuse me.
yeah, I don't
The
know.
independent ones, that's what's doing these big companies in. It's like these guys are coding in their basement and shit, and
Yeah.
come out with good shit. They put it on Game Pass for free. I'm sure they get a kickback from Microsoft.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They gotta pay for
I'm
the
playing.
usage and
I'm
whatnot.
playing. Adam Fall, and it's a fucking great game. I don't think it's
Yeah.
new, but
No, no,
it's
it's
not
relatively
much
new.
to it.
No, I mean,
But it's a story like puzzle game, and the graphics aren't spectacular, but they're decent like any
yeah,
other game.
they're good enough. No, Xbox, the Game Pass has put out a lot of good games lately. Because they had that Expedition, the Bethesda, obviously the remaster of Oblivion. You know,
Maybe that's what's doing them in too, because like look at all the games we find on Game Pass.
yeah,
Like I feel like that's promoting these games, but we would have never played, never bought.
right, exactly. It helps smaller companies get a bigger audience and get more playtime, right? Because I look at something like I said, Blueprints, which is huge, and I honestly think is an early contender for Game of the Year. I don't think I would have ever come across that had it not been right. Oh, like, oh, hey, new Game Pass game, and here's it. And and I think also what helps that is that a lot of streamers will, for financial reasons, like they can't just go buy every game that comes out and play it for their stream. So you get that Game Pass membership or that PlayStation Plus whatever membership, and then you just play those games on your stream
Right.
and see which ones connect with the audience, and then that it propagates. More people see it, more people play it, more people play it, more people see it, and the games kind of the ones that rise to the top are the ones that are up there. But all right, we are going to toss to a short break, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we've got our phenomenal guest of the night, Mr. Brian Norris, joining us. Mike, you gonna hang for the end? Or you calling in tonight?
I'm gonna call it.
Okay, buddy. Well, I want to thank my co-host for joining me in this first half of the show. Appreciate you, big bud. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with more show right this.
Hey, you there? Yeah, it is right, you. Let me ask you something, right? Where the hell do you think that you're going? Oh, would you think because the show is going to commercial that means you get to just walk away? Well, CQ asked me to pass on the little message, alright? And it says, I'll be back.
In the shadows of the city bright, where heroes rise and take the fight, there's a voice that breaks the night. It's CQ with the insight. From the comics to the silver screens, talking legends and those crazy scenes, pop culture, dreams and hidden themes. CQ reveals what it all means. From the comics to the silver screens, talking legends and those crazy scenes, pop culture, dreams and hidden themes. CQ reveals what it all means. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charts so bright, we're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charts so bright, we're ready for another flight. Marvel at twists and turns. Villains playing, heroes learn. Every episode we'll discern lessons from the past to learn. Games we play and books we read. Choose lessons what we need. Memories that make us bleed. Together we will take the lead. Pop culture warrior here to ignite. Guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charge so bright. We're ready for another fight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite. Guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charge so bright. We're ready for another fight. So bright, we're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. The CQ leading the charge so bright, we're ready for another flight.
Hi there. You're watching Pop Culture Warrior. This is the way.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back. We are back live on Pop Culture Warrior. I'm super excited tonight, man. We got somebody who has had some experience, lots of experience, honestly, and we're gonna dive into it. So let me do what I do. So, ladies and gentlemen, my guest tonight is a powerhouse character actor whose face you've probably seen lighting up some of your favorite shows, whether it's stealing scenes in Brooklyn Nine-Nine or diving into intense drama with NCIS or showing up in fan favorites like For All Mankind. He's done it all. You might also recognize him from a few of his funniest commercials on TV. Trust me, the guy's got serious range. Now he's stepping into the gripping world of The Cleaning Lady for its highly anticipated fourth season on Fox. Ladies and gentlemen, give a huge pop culture welcome to the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Brian Norris, everybody. Woo! Hey. I mean, we got to do it. We got to do it right, man. We got to do it right. Oh, thank you so much for being on, man. I appreciate you taking the time to visit us little people here, you know? I do. Yeah, I also have I have Mjolnir, so I am worthy. That's back there somewhere. No, I so appreciate you being here tonight and sharing your journey with us and talking about all your stuff. Let me do the get to know you portion for the audience. This is where we get to peek behind the scenes of the characters. Let's get to know the guy, Mr. Brian Norris. What is your military connection?
Oh, my Uncle James flew in the Air Force. So we grew up always going to Atlanta to Peachtree City. That's where they lived. I don't know if anybody knows the area, but that's like a pilot's community. And that was just a part of our lives. It really gave me like a personal connection to service, and definitely helped me like see that there's people behind all of that. And I feel like the folks who don't have that active connection, it's really hard to understand. No, it's just people. It's really brave, wonderful, kind human people who are up there. And so that was it's a good thing to get early.
Oh man, I love that. I love that. Well, we thank him for his service. You said he flew. Would you happen to know? I know it's more of a insider question. But you know what he flew, or big ones,
You
little
know, I
ones?
don't. He was actually getting his commercial pilot's license by the time I was coming into the equation. And so for most of my life, he was a pilot for Delta. And it was cool whenever we got to be on one of his flights.
That's awesome, man. Well, we appreciate him. We thank him for his service. Second question. Gotta ask. We are pop culture themed. We all geeks and nerds and love our stuff. What do you geek out about?
Okay. The thing that I'm the most geeked out about right now, for anyone online, you're going to see this. I wish I had better ones on right now, but these are Golden State Warrior socks with Steph Curry's number 30 on them. I'm from Oakland. I bleed blue and yellow. I wish they were still in Oakland, but even in San Francisco, Steph Curry is my hero. I don't know if a single person has done more to make my life better that I don't know than that man. And honestly, like a whole bunch of them, but especially him. And growing up in the Bay, I don't know if you all know this, but before Steph Curry, they were the worst team in any sport. People didn't even know that there was a Golden State Warriors basketball team. And so seeing that, it actually like gave me hope that things that I thought could never get better would. Like I am a more optimistic person because of that.
I'm a Giants fan, so I get you loud and clear. We're on the downside of that, so I get you.
Well, wait, real quick, New York Giants or San Francisco Giants? I just realized
Fair point. The Blues should give it away, but New
I
York
was
Giants.
guessing, but I didn't want to go all the way because I was like, I don't actually see football gear happening here, so maybe
off the side.
My dear friend Ron, if you're listening, Ron, shout out to you. He's the biggest Giants fan I know. And when they got the Arizona State running back, I just got
Scatterboo.
text, meme. So
God, he's gonna
congratulations.
Be so good. We're so excited. Anyway,
get one quarterback though at some point, right? You have like 7, right?
I mean, yeah. It's like we got like 5. It's fine. But for you, sir, let's peel back the onion. Let's start at the beginning. What first drew you into acting, and when did you realize that maybe, this isn't a hobby, this is a career choice, this is what we're gonna do?
Okay, so I gotta take you back. I gotta take you way back.
Take us.
I'm a kid. I'm like 8 or 9 years old, and I am, what's the phrase? I'm not fun to be around. I'm allergic to everything, and I cry constantly. So I'm the worst. So my parents are figuring, what do we do with this kid? And for some reason, they thought, with all of his allergies, let's send him to Roughing It Day Camp. You're talking like hikes in the woods, and you're playing with horses and stuff, and you're swimming, and all that was bad for me. But at the time, I was terrified to swim. I can swim now. But you had to do this tip a canoe thing to go on the canoe thing, which I didn't even want to go on because I was scared. And right when it was time to do it, I just burst into tears, and I started telling them all about the motorboat accident in Lake Tahoe and how we nearly died. And my dad, he hurt his shoulder, but he got us to safety. They call my mom. They say, Mrs. Norris, we can't help your son if you don't tell us these traumas that happened to him. And she's like, I'm sorry, what? So the next summer, she put me in Shakespeare camp. And it turned out that for this little weird 9-year-old, that was heaven. I found my people. I found fun. I found acting. And then my parents just kind of kept saying, like, oh, we got a thing. We got a thing going for him. He's happy here. And I think they made a mistake. They probably should have put me in something just like for fun. And they accidentally put me in the kids' San Francisco training program if you want to be a child actor. And so I ended up at this place called Kids on Camera, run by Judy Berlin, who I think was Big Bird at one point. The big client at the time was Andy Morris, who was the voice of Andy in Toy Story, still a friend to this day. And that led to like getting represented really early, which my parents were like, what is happening here? I don't quite get it. And I found myself, I found my identity. I found what I was good at. I found what I liked. I found a way to understand a world that was not understandable to that point. And then I just never stopped. It started with theater. I went to UCLA for theater. From there, had some brushes with some real jobs. It's almost on all that. I was almost an Almost Famous. It's kind of funny.
Almost famous.
Yep. But found my way kind of after college, and then basically after graduating, this has been what I've done with my life ever since.
Oh, that's fantastic. And was there any particular role early on that, because I can imagine, obviously I'm not an actor, but I can imagine, it's like a high schooler playing football wanting to be in the NFL. There's a very large leap to I'm doing this now versus this is going to be a career. So where was that particular role that connected and you went, okay, this can be something that I can do. Like I can survive on this.
Luck and delusion will do a lot for a man. The thing is, like, I started doing it in like summer camp. It was just a fun thing. But because they put me in the stuff they put me in, there was quickly this professional element to it. And so just early on, it was like, oh, I can audition to be in a TV show. I think my first audition that I ever had was for, I'm going to butcher the name. It's like Big Kid, Little Indian or something. It's a Tim Allen movie.
Okay.
Which would never be made today, where he like adopts a boy from far away. And I'm sure the politics of that are very complicated now, but it was like played, I guess, like a native boy. I don't even know. I'm talking about this. I'm like, what the hell were we doing? But it was like, if I do this, then I'll get to be with the guy from Home Improvement. And then it's not like I booked a ton, but I was doing professional stage work. I was doing an episode of Nash Bridges, and Cheech Marin is hanging out with me, and Don Johnson's telling me I'm cool. And it just seemed like, this is what I do. A lot of people, their first job, they're mowing lawns. They're doing things like they're doing hard work for no money. My first job was I modeled for Mervyn's. Mervyn's was like Kohl's. It was like a Bay Area West Coast kind of thing. There'd be a Sunday catalog. And I was little, but I was like, oh, well, this job is easy. So whatever I'm being paid must be nothing compared to what people who do hard work must be. And I was getting paid probably like $100 an hour. And so I'm thinking, dude, he's helping like move stuff. My God, you're rich. The world was very confusing to me. It's true when they say that certain parts of Hollywood will just like mess with your brain. Value of a dollar took a minute to figure out. It was once those checks stopped coming, I was like, wait, what do I have to do to earn money now? Are you kidding me?
Well, and we've had this conversation on this show before where I've talked to many actors, and it's like you do get paid really well for the work that you do, but somebody said it best when they're like, the money you're making is for all the things you didn't get. It's for all the work you did off set, off the page, off the screen, the classes, the headshots, the agents, the managers. It's all that is why you get paid the big bucks, less for the work that you actually do.
It's true. I mean, the money is good on like a per hour basis, but to be honest, the economics of Hollywood changed too, man. It's not what it used to be. And I'm not complaining. I love this job. I would do it as long as I could feed my family. Like that's kind of my baseline there. But it used to be that you do 22 episodes of a TV show and it would be playing again. And each time the residual was very real money. People who were the last lead on a TV show for 5 years could buy a house. And that now is a much more complicated proposition. And so we're definitely well paid compared to some professions for sure. But it's I don't know. I feel like almost every profession in industry is kind of going through a thing right now. It's like, man, the money ain't what it used to be.
It doesn't stretch. It doesn't stretch as far as it used to, right? Unless you buy less groceries, you have.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say you have less maids, less cleaners. There's less. There's,
let the staff go, honey.
Yeah, quiet on set. The entourage is a bit smaller nowadays than it used to be.
Where'd Turtle go? He was supposed to cook me breakfast. We had to lay him off, man.
it's so tough. It's so tough. I mean, and we could have a whole separate conversation about just the economics of it because I do think it's like uh, there's so much at play, and I again from an outsider's perspective, I always look at it and I look at it the same way I look at sports athletes or these guys that get paid an exorbitant amount of money, and it's like the leeches come out of everywhere and will figure out ways to suck that every last dollar and bit.
Is if you pop in something that has a big like supply demand issue,
Yeah.
you're somehow able to get out ahead of a bunch of people who want the same thing you want. And so like it's not surprising to me that people are kind of looking for some shine if they're seeing that someone that they know has it. Like I feel like there's something really human about that. It's also hard if you're the one who has it at that time to figure out how do you be charitable and how do you have boundaries, and it's complicated, but I feel like that's human. I feel like if we were all like cavemen and somebody found like a bunch of berries, we'd be like, yo, hook me up.
That's when you bring out the big stick. That's
Yeah. But you eat them first and make sure they're not going to kill you like that Into the Wild kid, because I don't want that.
No, I mean, look, let's be real for a second. When was the first like random uncle or cousin that reached out to you and was like, "Hey, I got this thing. If you just invest a little bit of money, I can imagine that happens."
I will not ever name names. I doubt anyone's listening to this, but one of my wife's uncles was like, "Hey, I got a cool stock that I would like to like invest in for like a mine somewhere." And I was like, "You realize that like I don't have the money you think I have." And also, no. The bigger one though is I remember back in my single days is after you were on TV, you'd get texts and you'd be like, "Oh, you saw."
Yeah, Mr. Moneybags over there, Mr. Hollywood. You start getting the random texts. Yeah. Hey, I'm a nobody streamer, and I have people knocking on my door. Oh, look at you, big deal now. You're interviewing these Hollywood people. Like, what are you talking about?
So you know what? Yeah. Help me pay for the mic, and I will.
Them streaming licenses, man, they pricey. They catch up. They build up on you. So you've done everything from commercials to hit TV shows. Is there an early gig that's still like super memorable for you? And I'm curious, like give us a high and maybe a low, just to give people an example of early acting life, right? Not everybody starts at the AAA, Quentin Tarantino kind of movie, like give us some of the juice.
Well, if we're talking about like the actual like the thing, like the actual acting, it all kind of clicked for me doing a play when I was a junior in high school. My family was kind of falling apart. I was really angry at my dad, and we were doing this Greek play that I didn't care about. It's called Antigone. It was all about this. There's a war going on, a civil war, and Antigone's sister or brother dies, and she wants to bury the body, and the family they say you can't bury it. And I played her betrothed, her boyfriend, and who's yelling at his dad to like change his mind. And I remember that at some point I started yelling at this poor guy, John, who was just another junior in my high school, like I was yelling at my dad. And it wasn't like I was just there. I was touching all of it. And I was like, oh, got it. This is the thing we've been talking about. So that definitely kind of like, I'm onto something. I know the thing that I'm looking for now. In terms of a gig that really made me feel like, okay, I can do this. There's a couple that come to mind, but one is a show that I wish had gotten a little bit more time. It was called Awake. It was on NBC. It had Jason Isaacs, who was just on White Lotus. He's Lucius Malfoy, wonderful actor. Lots of great people on that show. Cool pitch for the show. It's a cop show. He's been through in a car accident. His wife didn't make it. His son did. He's getting through it. They are together. He's got a therapist and a partner and a case. And every time he goes to sleep, he wakes up. Same life, but now the car accident, his wife made it. His son died. He has a different therapist, a different partner, a different case. And every time he wakes up, he switches reality. He doesn't know which one's real. Coolest show. If anyone's listening, reboot that, but put it on something that does like 8 episodes. But I remember getting that audition. And I remember the character was basically, he was the murderer that week. Spoiler. But it's the story, we've heard it from the news about finding out that a sperm doctor has been using his own stuff for all of the people. And so this kid figures it out and is taking revenge. And I remember just getting just pages of these emotional monologues all about like why I was right. And at the beginning of working on it, I was like, I don't believe any of this, man. I don't know. That didn't happen to me. And I just sat with it and spent time with it and spent time like applying all the stuff that I've been working on for years. And all of a sudden I was like, no, I know what he's thinking about here. And I know what he wants. I know what he's doing. I know what I'm doing here. And then all of a sudden I found myself in a scene across an incredible actor. I'd be like, I think I'm doing most of the heavy lifting here. And not because he's not doing great, because the story is asking me to do it.
Right.
I think I'm just doing the thing right now. And it's not just that kid, I'm just going to get up there and feel and imagine like there's a thing that I'm working towards and creating up here, and it's working with him. And if I'm able to do that, like we're on to something. And that was a big moment. Okay. Here's the most embarrassing audition story.
Here we go.
This one isn't great. I got an audition for some movie of the week. It's based on a real life, really sad story about he was a closeted kid whose family had found out and was sending him to like a re-education camp. And it's based on a real story, and the kid died there. So we're talking like heavy stuff, but I think like Sigourney Weaver was going to play the mom, and I had this chance to audition for it. And it's funny, I'm normally really good with the emotional work, but for some reason I psyched myself out on this. It's just crying constantly, and I didn't have that life experience. I knew people who had similar things, but it wasn't my story. And so I'm nervous about this audition, man. I got to cry a lot. I think like, okay, well, what if it's not going to happen? What's a way to cry if you don't want to cry? Onions. Onions will make you cry. And so I give it a little shot, and I cut up a little onion, and put a little here, and guess what? It makes your shit burn. And all of a sudden it's going, I'm like, okay, I got a backup plan. So then 12 hours later, I'm in a room. This is when you still actually went into rooms to audition, and there's 15 other people in a small room. They all look like you, and they're all ready for the exact same thing. And it's just redhead who reeks of onions, because I got a baggie in both pockets, baby. I'm ready to go. And at the time, casting directors are doing their best, but when we had that many people in the room, you were almost always running behind. It's just nature of the beast. It happens, and so you have more time to worry about it, more time to go over it, more time to practice your onions. And so by the time I go in there, I smell like a hamburger. I've been thinking about should I do this, should I not, 1,000 times. And worst of all, it turns out that after you do that a few times, it stops working. It's just like your body gets used to it. They're like, whatever we needed, we sent you that. That pH balance has been fixed, sir. And so I'm in there, and I'm like, the onions aren't working. And I'm trying to squeeze them all over my face. And look, there's some casting directors who think I'm good at my job. Not this one. And you know what? That day she was right.
I could just imagine you just one second, and you're just slathering onions all over your face. It's just it's
maybe
not working.
I'm just trying to cry, but really, I'm like, at what point? I wish I could have been in her brain. At what point does she go, no way, no way? Oh my God! That tape exists somewhere. She must have kept that.
Oh God, that's if for $1 million, right?
Hey, may my career get big enough that video is worth something to somebody.
And reminder to everybody in the chat too, if you have questions about all these fantastic stories or anything else from Brian, put them in the chats and we will get to them as they apply. But continuing on, because this is gold. By the way, we're clipping that. That is the social media post for next week, just so you know. So look forward to that tag. Maybe we can find her. Reconnect you guys after all this time. Who knows? It'd be what a great story. What a great story. So. And dude, you're hitting all my questions, because I had a question about what's the crazy Hollywood audition story which I mean, how can you top that one? People that you worked with. I mean, you answered that one. I mean, like, this is awesome. You're killing it. You're doing a great job.
Thanks, man. Oh, you're asking me questions. I appreciate it.
It's almost like you've done this before. You do this for a living, or I don't know. So,
Professional podcast guest.
what, what, I always have this thought of any of us that are doing any said thing, and trying to make it professionally. I always think like, oh, I have a podcast, and like, oh, if I could just get to this level, this is success for me, right? Maybe not Joe Rogan level, but somewhere in there. But so like, I think back into your early days, like what was that benchmark for you? What was that? If I can just do this XYZ, or if I could afford the Maserati, or like what's success for me early on?
Oh man, so I always, a lot of actors I think have a little bit more of a rebellious spirit than I do. I always knew I wanted to be married. I wanted to be a dad. I wanted some things that are kind of pretty traditional for the world that maybe for actors are not always the first thing. So for me, I mean, this shows also how different the world was and how naive I was. But my thought was like a house. That like if I can buy a house, isn't that the thing that people can do with their jobs? And now that's a more complicated thing. I would say that if I were doing it now, it would be, can I get married? Can I have a kid? Can I make my health insurance? If I can do those things. But when I was younger, so when I got out of school, I would get onto jobs early, and I would look for the guys who were not the lead, but who at the table read had a wedding ring on. And then I'd find them and I'd corner them and I'd say, I know what you're being paid. How are you doing this? Explain it. So I remember I was like such a little shit. I was on the like 5th episode of Mad Men or something like that. It was before the show became a big deal, but everyone's there and they're like helmeted hair and their fancy things. And I'm just like, so how much does a wedding cost? Who is this kid? But they all told me the same thing: born rich, married rich, or passive income. And I was like, nope, maybe, what? But then later, a cool thing happened. The most lucrative job I ever had, and kind of strangest, was I was the voice of Wendy's fast food for 5 years. And that's a dope job. That's rolling up into a recording studio in your Steph Curry jersey, and they'll make you a coffee, and then you talk about square burgers for a little while, and then you make enough money to actually have a life. It's wild. It's great. Incredible 5 years. So I did buy a house during that time, and that did hit the I fucking did it. Pardon my French, but yeah, I fucking did.
You did, man. You fucking did it. Absolutely.
But here's the one you want. Here's the egregious fun thing, and this loops back to where we started with all things Steph Curry. So this is coinciding with 2015. Steph Curry is making his first run towards the finals. I have never seen a legit playoff run in my life. And I think I have some money right now. I got this cool little BMW I'm driving around that I'm leasing. Life feels full of hope. And I'm like, I'm not going to miss this. That poor guy has ankles that are made of toothpicks. I'm going to see a playoff game. I'm not missing this. I didn't know there was a dynasty coming. And so each series, I would drive myself along PCH in my fun little car, and I would go up to Oakland, and I would buy one ticket to the playoff game. And I was like, I'm going to make a memory I'll never forget in my life. I have the chance to do this now. I might not later, and I'm not missing it. They won every single game I went to. I went to one in every single round. I saw him beat LeBron in the finals. I would go there and I'd be alone, and people would be like, who are you here with? And I'd be like, I'm here with you. I'm here with them. And they'd be like, he's here with us. Get him a beer. I didn't pay for anything. I mean, it was like community. It felt like a miracle. It just felt like something good. It just shook out for me during that time, and I will never forget it. I feel so bad for my wife. I met her after all that, and she's like, so what was that like? I was like, this is pretty great.
It was good. I connect with you. Not about me, but I got to be on the field at MetLife Stadium the last time they had a playoff run that they won the Super Bowl. They had one home game. I was there. I was on the field. I got to do the flag on the field. And it's like, what a memory where you're like, I may never, and at this point, I may still never get to see that again. So to be there, playoff game on the run to the Super Bowl, man, God.
Last year I took my wife and daughter to the Bay for the first time. And I'm heartbroken because the A's are dead to me. John Fisher, sell the team. John Fisher, sell the team. Sacramento A's are dead to me. But we went to one of the final games in Oakland, not like the last series, but I took her. They played the Dodgers. We saw Ohtani hit a home run, and the A's won. And I got a video of my daughter doing, "Let's go Oakland." I'm like, oh, cool. I want to live a lot longer, but I'm a little step closer to being able to die happy. Sure. Yeah, that's cool. That happened. Check.
That's awesome. Oh God, I love it. I love it when the kids. I got a little 7-year-old boy. When it's like he doesn't even follow sports, but when he's like, "Yeah, let's go, Big Blue," and you're like, "Ah, God, I did something right."
For the first 3 years of her life, I convinced her that when you have a picture taken, you should say Steph Curry and not cheese. And she got for her birthday all of the kids to do it with her, and I was like, I've had an effect on the world.
That
It's
is
small, but it's
awesome.
mighty.
Oh God, we're such great parents.
Right?
We're not leaving them with childhood trauma at all.
Hey, I took my daughter to the park today, and I paid attention most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
I had my phone lined up where I could keep one eye on her, and we're good.
Exactly. Yeah. I push the swing.
So, I mean, you have, popped up. I was cyber stalking you. I was doing the IMDb's and looking you up and the wikis, and like you've been in a lot of shows that like I know I've loved, and so many people. My Name is Earl, Mad Men, Veronica Mars, The Unit, Lie to Me, Community. It goes on and on and on. Like, what is that experience like? So like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, NCIS. How is it different walking onto the set of like a very well established, well oiled machine versus like maybe being there day one of like a new show and they're trying to figure out what. Break it down for us simpletons, us non guys.
To the not initiated to that specific thing. It's hard actually. Don't get me wrong. The community in Hollywood is way more welcoming than people give it a reputation for it. There's this, don't get me wrong, every place has tough people, but for the most part, it's really familial. It's really kind. Like if you're going to be a part of this thing, everyone's invested in something bigger than themselves. It's cool. If you're not a big part of it, though, it's like they're having a party and you showed up. And it doesn't mean that they don't like you. It means they don't really know who you are.
Mhm.
And they understand that you also won't be here for longer than maybe a week, maybe only a day. And so it's not that they're going to be rude, it's that there's no real reason for them to invest that much time in a busy day where there's a lot of things to spend your time on. And so you can really feel like you might be in the way. Like that's the biggest thing. And so figuring out how to make relationships feel comfortable and realize like, oh no, that's not that you did something. That's just there's a big corporation that's in the middle of doing a complicated thing and you are jumping in midstream, and the best thing you can do is jump in and hit it.
Mhm.
And like you do that, and almost always everything kind of slows down. And I don't even mean hit it, be genius. I mean help them. Be a
Right.
useful part of the team rather than like, oh, I'm so worried about me right now. No, how can I help you?
Yeah, not trying to be. Oh, the focus is on me, right? Like I'm actually not. I don't want to say set dressing. That sounds horrible, but like I'm here to be to
But
further your thing.
stories are about usually one person at the end of the day, and then everything that comes from that. Every other character in a story is there to help that person, teach that person, thwart that person, be a foil to that person. And there's a physics to how stories work. Like the scene I told you about Jason Isaacs. He's I'd offer him a part over me. My God, that guy's fucking incredible and everything that he'd bring to the table. That scene was asking more of my character. That's just the physics of it.
Mhm.
I did Community, when that happened, I was on the top of Runyon Canyon on a hike. It's a LA hike area, and I get a call saying they had a last minute need on Community. Can you be there in 45 minutes? I was like, I'm on the top of a mountain.
Yes.
Can I shower? They said no. I said I'll be there. But there, quickly you come in, and it's an episode where it's all about they're doing like the chicken finger mafia. It's like a Goodfellas parody, and like I'm a punchline to a joke, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean literally, Chevy Chase is getting funny things, and I'm the third one, and so it's like boom, and I'm like, my name is Travis. Like my job is not to take up a lot of space. My job is to basically be someone who's confused why they're there. And you know what? I was pretty surprised because I was in the middle of a hike and my dog, I think, was like with a friend in the car. So you kind
Nailed
of
it.
fight in your way, but other times you're going to be there for the week and you might be there longer. And that's the moment that, I did an episode of Longmire. I don't know if you know that show. That was a really great kind of modern Western. Lou Diamond Phillips was on that show. I grew up watching him play Richie Valens. Like, I was like, this is cool. And we were all shooting that show in Santa Fe in New Mexico, and no one lived there from the main cast. We're almost all being flown out there. And I remember just the first day, he's like, you're cool. I like you. I'm having the cast over. I like cooking. I'm just going to cook for everybody. My family's there. Do you want to come over? It's like, yeah. Yeah, I do. And so that's the other half of it, is it's not personal when it's less, but God, if you are in there, you do feel like you're a part of a family. You feel like you're all taking an adventure together, grabbing hands and leaping. And that's pretty neat.
That's awesome. When you were talking about, kind of coming in and being on the outside of it, I couldn't help but think it almost, and tell me if I'm way off base here, but almost like this idea of you are a transfer student showing up at graduation. like,
Love that.
Everybody knows each other and you're just like, well, I guess I'll just stand here until the end of the day. And,
I did a
finish up.
season finale of a show once. I did the season finale of New Amsterdam. And it really felt like that because it was literally the last days of shooting. And they're all thinking, spring break. There's like food trucks and parties and interviews to do. And some of them are going off to do a movie or a trip or have a kid or like do all this stuff. And they're all done. And we're like, yeah, this is my second and then third and then last day. And this is all that I'm going to do here. I remember for that one, they actually shot out the series regulars a couple of days before, and it was just us on set, a lot of the guest cast for the last couple of days. And that was awesome. Just having the experience of like, oh, someday when this is my show, not this one, but this is what it's like. And you get some real practice. It's almost like fourth quarter of an NBA game that's out of hand. Like, you get some NBA minutes though.
Yeah.
And you get to know what that feels like.
Yeah.
And I mean, so lucky to get those opportunities because they don't come around often.
Oh my God, that's awesome. And yeah, Awake was a phenomenal show. I really liked it. I really did. And wish that it lasted a lot longer than it did. Cause that, like you said, it was such a I love twisty concepts and we have the procedural dramas and we have the, multicam sitcoms and those are all great and all that. But we were just talking about this, like even like a video game, give me something new, give me something fresh, give me a new mechanic, a new perception, a new something. That's where the good stuff is, man. Oh, that's good. I like it. Is there a particular genre that you naturally gravitate towards, comedy, drama, sci-fi, or do you just kind of, hey, whatever I can get my hands into, we make the most of it?
Well, I mean, in terms of working, I mean, I love what I do. I'll take anything, and I've been lucky to get to do a couple different things, and that's pretty dope. So I'm not complaining about that at all. But if I'm honest, the thing that I'm like the most attracted to as an actor and as an audience member it's interesting. It's taking like a piece of what you're talking about, but it's applying it somewhere else. It's to me when I feel like I'm watching something that feels new about real people. When I feel like, no, they're talking about the experience that I'm having on this planet, but it's not my experience, or it's a new way to get there. So for me, The Pit right now at Max, I don't know if there's a show I like more and I'm like more consistent. Like, I just like hanging out with all those people. Like if it's bad, I'm with them for it. If it's funny, I love it. I feel like I'm in that hospital with them. And then the one that's knocked my socks off right now, it's heavy. It's so good though. It's Adolescence on Netflix. That thing is tough, but it's all in one shot, and it's taking place almost like the first episode's all in a police station. It's taking place after like a young boy has killed a girl. And it's like, what happens to the parents, to the people, to the cops? And I hadn't seen that story told that way. And I was like, oh man, it's making me feel about being a father, a parent, a person. That to me is the absolute best. But then, also throw me some Star Wars or some Scream, and I'm thrilled.
You got to. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. A little superhero movie here and there.
Well, and also after doing the cleaning lady, like I'm ready to take a Claret and do a Western. Let's go.
Like, they're getting a real resurgence, man. With was it 1923 and Goldmine, all these different shows. Like westerns. I was saying westerns and horrors are really on the rise lately.
Oh yeah.
It's Hollywood. I mean, you know this better. You can speak it better than me, but I've noticed that it's very cyclic in that vampires are hot for a while, and then it's zombies, and then it's superheroes, and it's just riding
Well,
that
right
wave.
now it should be pretty cool to you. It's a thing I think is pretty neat. It's like this is the video game time. That's the era we were in. There might be other stuff too, but the dominant thing that was different is the biggest movie of the year is Minecraft.
Yep, the Super
Like, that
Mario
just
Brother
wasn't
movie, and yeah,
The Last of Us is the biggest TV show on television by at least by pop culture, zeitgeist space that it takes up. And that just wasn't. I remember being a kid and the Super Mario Brothers movie came out, and I don't mean the animated one. I mean the one that is a
John
drug
Leguizamo, yeah.
I mean, incredible cast. Carla Gugino looking so good. It's Princess Peach. What? Dennis Hopper as Bowser?
Yeah.
Bob Hoskins from Who Framed Roger Rabbit as Mario. And the whole thing's so weird. They play it that their first and last name are Mario. He's Mario and Luigi Mario. What were people smoking for that? Was that like David Lynch doing that?
We've talked about this, that, the 80s, it was a different time, and there was just a lot of cocaine in those boardrooms. There's just a lot of drugs.
Super Mario 2 is super weird because it wasn't supposed to be a Mario game, but then they put the Mario skin on it.
Right.
I'm convinced that's what the Super Mario Bros. Movie is. It was some weird steampunk sewer movie, and they're like, this isn't working. Put some red plumbers in it. Put another guy in green next to him. Let's go.
Yep. A couple of quick changes. Put on the color correction in the After Effects, and boom, you're done.
But you're telling me if you told me that within the next 10 years, a Red Dead Redemption movie won Best Picture, I believe you. I don't know whether it's gonna happen, but I believe that. That sounds like a thing that could happen.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, again, I'm a big comic book reader, and then obviously it's movies and TV. So you see things like The Walking Dead had a great run, and just still trucking along. But
Right.
Invincible, The Boys, Watchmen, when it came out, both the movie and the series, there's some great stuff. And for years we've said, you don't need to do Batman again. As much as I love Spider-Man, and I really do, you don't need to do another Spider-Man. There's so much great content out there. Give them a chance, and it feels like they're finally paying attention. But for, like you said, for every good one, you do get a Badlands or Borderlands. Borderlands, and
we're gonna get both because I just read that Colin Farrell's gonna do Sergeant Rock.
Yes,
that is a deep, awesome cut.
Yes,
that's cool, man. I don't know what you're gonna do with that, but I'm interested. Right?
We'll
you have
see.
something to say. I'm a Marvel guy. I'm excited to see whatever they do. But their business plan is we're going to bring back the old thing. And I probably will see it and be excited by it and love it. But it's interesting to see that the biggest bet is on the reboot, yet there's a lot of movement towards things that feel new. And that economic tension is so interesting to me. Did you hear the thing about how much Sinners made last week?
I did.
And this whole story that movie is not going to be profitable. A non-IP movie making $90 million or what? That's incredible. We should all be just thanking the Lord that this movie's here and people are seeing it. And instead, we're just, I don't know.
It's criminal. It's going to win so many awards. It
should.
I mean, we're talking about a whole separate comment, but the fact that they're making a bigger deal out of the deal that Coogler got, and it's
that's the same deal Tarantino got on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and that premiered to less box office its first weekend. And I think both are great films, and they all should be there. And we should just stop having these ridiculous conversations about them. Don't compare an original movie to Black Panther. It's just not. That's not how it works.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? It's the news, man. They gotta come up with something. They gotta come up with something.
News got a news.
They got a news. I like it. You've touched on it a bit, have worked with some incredibly talented actors, actresses, casts. Was there ever a piece of advice or lesson that just really stuck with you? You don't have to name drop if you don't want to, but just something that you walked away from that experience and you're just like, holy shit, that's money.
That's the thing right there. You know, the biggest thing that affected me was on a gig when I was talking to a pretty big name actor, and I was asking him about a previous thing he had done, because he had done it with Heath Ledger, and I just was always really just blown away. And it was that he talked to me about him and he basically demystified him.
Mm.
He was like, and he wasn't talking about my talent or anything. He's like, actually, he was kind of like you. He's really sensitive. He was like he kind of marched to the beat of his own drum. He was like a really good guy. He's often like just skateboarding around. And it was seeing these people that inspire me that I'm like, oh my God, like you do that. How do you do that? And it's like, he's a person. He's a person working through it just like you.
Demystify it. I love that.
And I think like that probably more than anything, just like kind of broke down a bunch of walls of like, what is possible, what isn't possible, and like, shoot your shot, man, shoot your shot. You don't have a lot of time to do it, so get it done. I feel like that's the one that when I think back on just like profound impact, that one just sits.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, the demystify that's I get, I feel like we're kindred spirits, man, because I remember being the guy that like would go to the conventions and I'm like, oh my God, you're starting all these huge, and then I've had the real great opportunity to, again, as a Marvel fan, I've had Clark Gregg on the show. I've had Agent Coulson. We've sat and talked. I grew up loving comedy. Before he passed, I had Louis Anderson on this show, and we talked for an hour about just stuff that made us laugh and so getting to see these people as people has been the greatest joy of my life. Greg Grunberg, who I loved in Heroes and everything. We text back and forth now. Like he's
I don't know him well, but I've been in a couple places. He's a good dude.
He's just a solid roundabout dude, and I've just, it's been the greatest joy of my life to get to become friendly with people. And as much as this is an interview about you, it's also, I always feel like it's like we're on a date. We're just getting to know each other.
We're getting to know each other.
We're feeling it.
We would. Just picking up the check on my Topo Chico.
I got it. Well, it's a business expense. It's fine. We'll write it off.
Don't call me a business expense.
So in that vein, what's kind of been like your biggest, that pinch me moment in terms of like working with that person where you're like, I can't believe I'm standing here, I'm witnessing it, and just enjoying it?
I mean, there's something really wild about seeing John Hamm walk by as Don Draper. And the way that guy worked on that show is he was Don when he was there. I don't mean that he was making people call him Don or anything like that. I mean that like
groping women,
Oh, I mean, definitely no. Lovely guy. No, but I mean, in the suit, hair done. He didn't show up like a modern human. And it almost felt like a ghost would walk by or something like that. Just like, oh, was that Don Draper? Like that's almost like seeing James Bond or something. It's just like that's like a wild thing. Another one for me, this isn't actually meeting the person, but this one to me like just hit home in a wild way. So I'm working on Cleaning Lady. I go to Albuquerque to shoot this thing. It's first day. I'm getting this fun fitting for cowboy hat. Everything that we're dressing him in is like Scarface by way of this like Southwest Vegas. So we're talking like linen shirts with giant tigers and like a ring with like a lion coming out of it and like crazy like matching like a hat on the cowboy or brim on the cowboy hat matches the boots, matches the belt, matches the cell phone. We're doing all this stuff. And it comes time to get the hat. And they're like, we're going to go to the local haberdashery. We're going to go to the one in Albuquerque. It's been around for what feels like 700 years. It's run by the Statler and Waldorf, if you're a Muppets fan of Albuquerque. Just these like lovely, sweet guys who pretend to hate everybody, but they just love making these hats. And as they're cutting it, they say, we cut the Heisenberg hat for Cranston.
Yeah.
No, you stop. I thought, it just caused an earthquake from that. The second that happened, I was like, okay, well, this is one of the cooler things I'll ever do. I already felt a little close to it just because when I was doing Longmire, I got to use their ADR booth when I was just hanging out near where they shot the show. And I was like, this is pretty cool. No. That's it right there. That's it right
That's
there.
awesome. Oh, I feel I would be freaking out. I'd be the same exact. Oh my god, that's just say my name.
Yeah, well,
Like,
I'll say
oh,
this is actually my chance to do a public service announcement. If anybody from Warner Brothers or involved with the cleaning lady is listening, I want that hat, man. I wrote you so many nice letters. I offered to pay for that. Give me that hat, man. Give me the hat. Let's
I
go. Let's
man,
go.
you're reading my script here because I was gonna ask you, are there the ability, the chances to keep mementos or like over the years, what kind of cool stuff have you acquired? Let's just say, you maybe forgot you had it with you when you left the set. I mean,
Yeah, because that's the thing, you're not supposed to do that. I remember I was asking about some of that stuff early on with the cleaning lady about this particular show, and they said, one actress came in at one point when she was done with the show, and she just took all the clothes from her wardrobe and just left. And the studio sent her a $5,000 or $6,000 or it's $5 or $6 figure bill. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is what we're dealing with here. Because you hear other stories about all sorts of things, but really that's A-list celebrities in the 90s. Like I think it was like everyone from Julia Roberts to De Niro had it in their contract that they just get to own anything that they wore the entire time, and their wardrobe they offer it to charity, whatever. It's different now. Everyone's tightening the belt, man. But a couple of things have like accidentally, like I don't know how these things happen.
Sure.
Never a hat though. I wanted my hat from this, and I wanted my hat from Perry Mason, and I had this really cool like Depression era fedora. And I was just like, this thing feels like it's 100 years old. I want this thing. But I've got a really cool lighter from that show. I maybe have cowboy hats ring. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't want to confirm or
Hypothetically,
deny.
we're saying hypothetically,
Hypothetically.
if you were to have things,
Yeah, it's basically things that just end up in a pocket. And you're just like, how did that end up in my
yeah, it's hard. It's hard
what is it,
to
the same
to
one.
remember.
Is it? No, must be kind of similar. It's just no way to know.
I
And
feel you.
yeah. So little things, but you got to be way more cautious about that stuff than you used to. And the truth is, you got to be smart about it too, because shows have continuity, and if you need that item, that costume piece later, and all of a sudden that's gone, I mean, you're messing up the show. You're messing that up for production. You're messing that up for the audience. So as much as we're joking about it, like you also want to be really smart about that stuff because
Sure.
we're all lucky to be there and get to play with all those fun toys. If I could have kept Cowboy Hat's gun after the end of the season, that would have been cool. A giant, dirty, hairy kind of Magnum. Oh man, dope.
Out of curiosity, and I know 'cause the business is changing. Speaking on guns, there's obviously with what's happened, like on the Rust set. I mean, it's a huge deal. A lot of productions have moved into not even doing blanks and doing it all post and CGI and whatnot. When you're working with that as Cowboy Hat, are we talking a real piece? I mean, I would assume it's unloaded. I would assume, but is it prop? Is it where's it fall on the line?
Well, first, I was so happy with how like safe and how serious everyone took that stuff. No one was playing around, and it felt like a really safe, good set. Rust was shot in New Mexico, not far from where they shoot Cleaning Lady, and so I was not there when Rust went down. I think that was during season 3, probably, but it stopped their set too. The community's tight, and those things they don't happen, and they're not supposed to happen, and there's reasons and ways. So it's definitely in the air. Any set you're on right now, I feel that. I added the extra thing of, most sets they're using rubbers, which is great. Really, for most of the time, you don't need blanks anymore. The CGI is too good. Like a lot of the time, it looks better anyway, and it's simpler and it's safer. So what are we doing here? And a lot of the actors, sometimes myself included, those things are heavy, and we actually don't carry them all the time, and then we look like idiots. And actually, the whole thing sells. But like, there's a lot of reasons to do it. Cowboy Hat, though, he had like a dirty, hairy magnet, so you can't do that rubber because you can see the chamber. And you can see whether there's anything in it. And so mine was terrifying, man. Not terrifying, but each time they give it over to you, we're putting a blank in. We're putting a blank in. We're putting a blank in. Like this thing is exactly the thing that gets messed up. That's exactly the one. Everyone else on set has a rubber gun, and here I am holding this heavy thing that if someone has messed up their job, is a gun that could kill somebody. And it's, with great power comes great responsibility. Spider-Man.
Stop it. Good pull. Oh man, that's so good. Uh, so I mean, we've kind of hinted at we danced around it. Let's talk about the cleaning lady because I mean, what a huge show. I mean, it's been like I mean, it was a hit from God from day one. I remember I didn't even see the first season when it aired, but everybody was talking about it. I was like, I gotta go watch the show. What is it? What is that experience? But well, let's go back to the beginning. How do you find out you get the opportunity? Like, talk
Oh,
us
this
through
is
that.
fun. So it was last fall. I get an audition, it comes in, and I think for every reason in the world, this is not going to happen. First, I just booked another gig. I was going off to go shoot a little horror movie in North Carolina, and the dates were totally conflicting. And so the odds that I could do it anyway. So I think I'll just send in my audition. Then I see the name Cowboy Hat. That's not a name. And also, I've never, up to this point in my life at the story, I've never really worn a cowboy hat in my life. I have a really long face. And if you don't cut that thing for me, there's gaps here, my ears stick out. It's not a good look. It's just, I'm not made for it. Earlier me, when I got an audition for Cowboy Hat, would have spent the next 20 hours driving around Los Angeles begging people to borrow their cowboy hat that wouldn't have fit me anyway.
Mm.
Or I would have dropped an ungodly amount of money being like, this will solve it. And then I would have been one of 7,000 people who all been doing the exact same thing for that job. So a big thing for me in my work over the last few years has been really asking that question, like, well, who's the role because you play it? And then if I can answer that, I got a shot at it. And if I don't, then why me anyway? So for that one, I thought, this is fun. Who's named Cowboy Hat without owning a cowboy hat? I mean, we haven't talked about it too much, but I'm a Bay Area Jew. I am not the first person that you think of for cowboy hat, man. It's just not. So I was like, this is fun. There's gonna be a whole bunch of dudes who really are that, and they're gonna crush that audition for them. But me trying to do that, I'm gonna lose. And so my thought was, how do you get a name called Cowboy Hat without a cowboy hat? And my thought is, okay, that means I'm drunk. That means I am drunk. I'm at a Southwest bar. And I'm just starting to play around, and all of a sudden I kind of start talking like Matthew McConaughey, and then maybe I go on the bowl for a little, and all of a sudden by the end, my friends are like, "Look, it's Cowboy Hat! Yeah, it's fucking Cowboy Hat! Let's roll!" And so this idea of deconstructed ironic cowboy started showing up. So in my tape that I did, I remember, you think of the cowboy Marlboro Man smoking sticks, right?
That's right.
I found a nicotine vape, and it was just pulling on that thing, making little smoke rings, and I was like, I'm making a guy who decided he's Cowboy Hat. I'm gonna go with just that it's this, guys. And I had a lot of fun doing it, and I got real weird and unhinged, and I had a lot of fun with it. And when I got on set, I still remember a couple people came up to me and they said, "Yeah, you were what we thought, but we decided to hire the craziest guy we saw." It's like, awesome. This is it. This is really fun. So then they worked out with the movie, and I was going back and forth from North Carolina to Albuquerque for a lot of the end of the year. Was lucky enough to be able to do both gigs. Thank you to both productions and teams to help me do it. And yeah, it was a lucky, fun time.
That's awesome. And for those that haven't seen it or aren't even much aware of it, give us the pitch. Sell us on the cleaning lady and on Cowboy Hat and why they got to see this.
Okay, quick pitch. Tony is bringing her young son to America because she needs a cure for her son. He's sick. She's a surgeon where she's from, but she doesn't have the licenses to do it here. So she has to get a job as a cleaning lady to help pay for her kid. I think that's something people understand. She witnesses a hit by the cartel and is instantly implicated into becoming their cleaning lady. And they find out over the last couple seasons that she has even more skills than that to offer, given that she's a surgeon and given that she has certain needs for money and her family. And so the story is about her. And I would say it's kind of like Breaking Bad adjacent in that kind of way of how does this person try to hold on to their humanity amidst such a violent and dark world? And it's really fun the way they play with it. I come in season 4. Cowboy Hat, I believe, dances in the first episode before causing some mischief. And basically, I am the cartel sicario, which is a really cool title to get to throw on a resume. Never thought that was going to be one of my things, but oh boy, we done it. But But yeah, he's the cartel Sicario, and the fun that's going on right now in The Cleaning Lady is that the woman who'd been running the cartel, Ramona, she's in jail. Her brother is taking over. He's got some illegal ties, but he's also trying to maybe make it right, more legit. And so there's a little bit of infighting between the two of them that's been going on. And it seems like maybe I might be working for both of them just a little bit. So there's some fun tensions that are happening there. I don't like Tony too much. I don't trust her. Just as far as you can throw her, and I have never thrown her. So, at least not yet. So yeah, no,
Stay
there's
tuned.
fun aplenty, and any show where you in the first episode get a dance in turquoise cowboy boots, and I mean this isn't a spoiler because this already happened 4 weeks ago, and then like roll up in a bandana and throw a Molotov cocktail into a car and have it explode, and then like basically leave cackling. I'm having the best time. I'm having the best time. The show's so good. The actors are so good. I get to have more fun than a lot of people. All those other characters, they have sick kids to worry about and loved ones. I'm like, I got no attachments here. I'm here for a short time, not a long time. I'm here for a good time. So every time I come on, I think people are like, oh, this will be fun. And who's gonna die?
I gotta say, as much as we always root for the heroes, I can only imagine the villains. Those are the most fun to play. Those are the ones you really get, because we're all day to day, we're the heroes of our own story, right? We're trying to do the right thing and take care of the wife and the kids and pay the bills, do the job. But the villains, man, those are the guys that cheat, lie, steal, cut corners, find the easy way. And we like to see them get their comeuppance. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we do. I had a therapist who one time said, you know what acting is for you? And I was like, what? He's like, it's a controlled burn of a human experience. And I was like, oh, you mean like the firefighters do? A controlled burn where this is a very unsafe thing that we are doing in a very safe way right now. And I'll tell you, the villains are more fun. You get to be selfish. You get to be greedy. You get to jump out of a car and shoot the tires out. You get to do crazy stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'd also love to play a good guy too. But this villain era that I found myself in, it ain't bad.
And on a show like this, speaking of throwing a Molotov cocktail, how much of it is practical? How much of it is, After Effects and CGI and things like that?
I mean, the real answer is like it is such a wild mix, and what we're doing on set as we do it is basically doing it in different pieces that you're able to stitch together in different ways. So if you talk about the car blowing up in the first episode of the season, they had 3 different cars. They got the one, 4 cars. They have the one that you drive that actually has to work, and she drives in the scene and parks and has to do all that. There's one that you can light on fire, and it's treated for fire, so nothing will explode. No, there's 3. And then the third one is the one where basically everything's been taken out of it, so we can blow it up, and it's had a whole bunch of explosives put in it. And so you're just working in layers, right? So sometimes you go and you're really just handling the driving and nothing's going to blow. Another time you got blanks in your gun, but the glass is going to explode, the tires are going to explode, and we have to get it right on that one because we don't have a bunch of those. And then on another one, the car's going to be on fire. It's not going to explode because there's a lady in there who's covered in flame retardant stuff, and we're going to just light her on fire for 30 seconds or so. That's the scariest part. That's where everyone is on their stuff, and you don't mess around. Like, you don't mess around with any of it, but especially there. And then the last one, the people who have to do it handle their jobs. So we all basically like get behind a window and get our phones out. And we're like, oh shit, it's gonna blow. And I'm always shocked that they don't tell anyone in like surrounding areas that that's what we're doing. Maybe they told the neighbors, but like there's a freeway right there and just a car's exploding. And people are like, it's Albuquerque.
Yeah. It's like,
I
hey,
feel like
is Breaking Bad back on? They're filming more episodes.
It's Albuquerque, cowboy hat.
Are there and I know, man, we're already at time. Can I ask you a few more questions? We got you for a couple more minutes. We'll do a lightning round. We'll do a fast round. I appreciate your time. I don't want to take advantage. Any memorable moments from set that like we could talk about now? Maybe even something that didn't make the final cut. Is there anything that like you're like, oh man, I did this fucking thing and it just didn't make it?
There was one scene that they cut, and with stuff when you play a supporting character, you get it. It's like the show's about her. right? So like it's a cool moment for you, but does it further her story? Sometimes that gets complicated. So I think it was episode 3. I think it was the third one. There's episode 4. There's a big confrontation where we bring Tony over to the Coliseum and we really we question her and have it out. And then they send her out while they try to figure out what they're going to do with her. And I'm asked to kind of keep watch over her. And my only run-ins with her are pretty scary and violent up to this point. And often she's not listening to me. So my character is like, why are we trusting her? What are we doing here? And then she gets a phone call. Turns out it's her like lawyer, but she's like, pretend it's your kid. So she's trying to get away with this thing in front of me. And she's talking about her kid. And I got the darkest scene after that was so fascinating where I'm like, are you saying to your kid? Tell me about what you're saying to him. And to me, I'm like, oh, this is so scary. This means I'm going to eventually like have a scene with this kid and I'm going to threaten this kid and I'm going to sing this song to this kid. And it turned out that they just thought it was like a really scary thing for me to ask her, which is true. Yeah. But we never had, at least not yet. I'm not singing to her kid. And so, you know what? You can get rid of it. But boy, man, I think that was one of the most menacing things I've ever done on TV is look at a woman and say like, tell me what that song is.
I got goosebumps with shit.
That's good. That's really fun. The thing that I keep begging them to do, we'll see whether it happens or not. But I'm like, I gotta be dancing on top of a bar at some point. You giving me these boots? We gotta honky tonk it up at some point. This has got to happen.
Little cowboy ugly.
Yeah.
The other way. Okay, quick ones. When you're not on set, what is your go-to way to unwind? Like, do some people game, binge watch, travel? What's your way to unwind?
Binge watch TV with my wife, check out a Warrior game with my friends, go to the park or the zoo with my daughter. Like those are go-tos. If I'm hanging out alone, take me to a movie theater. Give me that. And then the other thing that I spend a lot of my time doing is when I'm not on set, I run an acting studio. So I'm working with other actors and coaching them on their auditions. We're occasionally having classes and things like that. So it's just kind of a fun way to keep doing it,
That's it. Stay loose. You always got to be, but it's a constant, it's a muscle. You got to always exercise it. If you could guest star on any show that you want, you got the golden ticket. What's got your number one right now?
Okay, if I can only get one, we're doing White Lotus, because if you guest star on the White Lotus, you are going to get probably the coolest scenes with the most amazing people, and everyone in the world is going to watch it and sign me. Also, I get to go to Hawaii or Thailand or Italy for 3 months, so sign me up. But if you're talking about not that show, because everyone wants that, everyone wants all these, but The Pit, I brought it up earlier. That show, man, just reminds me of what's good in people, and there's every type of person and human experience on that show. And so there's a place for everyone, and also to have the controlled burn of seeing what happens when everyone has to share space. You know what's cool about that show is it's almost a single set show. So everything's in the hospital, which means instead of spending money on some of the fancy locations, which is great too, there's heartbeats in every scene. You will see like 30 extras in the background who are all living out their lives as they do this, rather than just like, here's 2 people on a green screen. There's good stuff you can do there, but there's something so cool about people like dealing with each other.
It feels alive.
Yeah, I'll tell you, this might be a good place to end it. I did Perry Mason, and every time they saw me, I was the gun dealer. There was something like smoking outside of my hovel, and I remember the director said, "I'm bored with that. We're playing with HBO, so we get to do fun things. Come back in a few hours." I said, "Great, I'll come back in a few hours." The town is now full of like 300 people. There are people in rags negotiating. There's like a blacksmith working on something. There are kids chasing after mangy dogs. And they're like, "Yeah, we wanted to see the city, so we just filled it for you. And now you're going to walk through. We got like 7 cameras on cranes. And you're just going to walk through smoking a cigarette. You like some of them. You don't like some of them. And then at the end, you pull the gun and yell at the guy." I was like, "Are you kidding me? This whole world like came alive in 4 hours. And like all of these people are here for some walking shot I get to do. How lucky am I?" So you really try to include each of those people and thank them for their time there, and enjoy the fact that like you're walking through a video game in that moment. Like you like gaming, imagine that all of a sudden you are walking through the town and everyone is there and you're a part of it too. It's like Westworld. It's nuts.
Everyone knows you're the main character, Don't look him in the eye.
They're like, "Oh man, he's the man in black. Watch out."
Oh my God. Yes. We will call it a wrap. One of the, you said you did a podcast. name it out there. Name drop it. I want to find this, man.
So it was for a couple of years. It was for a couple of years I was doing it as part of an acting studio I was working with. It's called the Industry Town Podcast because LA is an industry town. It's a one industry town. So it's basically interviewing actors, creative agents, all those people on process like this, really just like actors on actors having that conversation. And if I kept that thing going for like 6 more months, one of the biggest entertainment podcasts in LA is called The Town with Matt Bellany. That dude would have had to pay me. But I quit 6 months before that.
It's all about who you know when you know. It's luck, man. It's all luck, right?
Yeah.
I want to thank my guest, Brian Norris, dude. You have been incredible. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go check out, find the old podcast recordings. Yeah, give us some views.
It's out there.
It's out there. Go check out The Cleaning Lady on Fox, season 4. We got to get more Cowboy Hat. We got to get more Cowboy Hat.
It's also on Hulu, streaming on Hulu. So you want to catch up seasons 1, 2, and 3, plus the most recent episodes. They're up a day after. So we got an episode tonight coming on in like 50 minutes. It'll be on Hulu tomorrow morning. So check it out. I hang out with a Pomeranian and hilarity ensues.
If that's not enough reason to sell you on it, I don't know what is.
You need to spin off a cowboy hat and the pom-pom. I think you do. Yes. I think that this pair is a good one.
Yes. Was he a tough acting partner?
I was told early on that he's very experienced. He's been doing this for many years, and you have to hold him by his butt at all times. Otherwise, he will be upset.
I'm sure you've heard that about a lot of your co-stars. I'm sure.
I mean, a few that I mentioned today.
Awesome, guys. I'm going to toss it to a break while I go say goodbye to our guest. We'll have some more show for you right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Brian Norris, everybody.
Thank you so much, everybody.
All right, man. We will catch you on the next one. Let me toss it to a break.
Hey, you there? Yeah, it is right, you. Let me ask you something, alright? Where the hell do you think that you're going? Oh, would you think because the show is going to commercial that means you get to just walk away? Well, CQ asked me to pass on the little message, alright? And it says, I'll be back.
In the shadows of the city bright, where heroes rise and take the fight, there's a voice that breaks the night. It's CQ at the insight. From the comics to the silver screens, talking legends and those crazy scenes, pop culture trends and hidden themes. CQ reveals what it all means. From the comics to the silver screens, talking legends and those crazy scenes, pop culture trends and hidden themes. CQ reveals what it all means. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charge so bright, we're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charge so bright, we're ready for another flight. Marvel at the twists and turns, villains playing heroes learn. Every episode we'll discern lessons from the past to learn. Games we play and books we read.
And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, did you have a good time tonight? That's not the right button to press. Dude, how awesome is Brian Norris? God, what a cool dude, man. I felt bad for holding him. I'm like, I know he was like, it was time to put his kid to bed, and what a good dad. What a good dad. He's like, man, I got a jet to put the kid to bed, but I will respect the privacy of our conversation, but I will just say I think there are very, very big things in that man's future. I think we will see him in a much bigger light. I think he'll be a well-known commodity come, whatever it is, a year from now, 2 years from now, whatever. But just a roundabout good dude and a friend of the show forever. So we will definitely have him on, I'm sure, in the future. Yes, Anubis says, good dude. Very, very good dude. Very good dude. And with that, we're going to wrap this show up for tonight. I want to thank, obviously, my co-host, Mad Mike, who's already gone to bed because he's just tired. No, baby. He's just so tired. Mad Mike, obviously, thank you for co-hosting as always. I want to thank my guest, Brian Norris. Dude is incredible. Go check out The Cleaning Lady. It's really good. It's really good TV. Obviously, I want to apologize for the first few seconds not having audio. Totally my fault. Gotta push the buttons, and I didn't push the buttons. I'm a little rusty. I haven't done an interview in a minute. And then, of course, gotta thank all of you. Thank you for watching at home. You are awesome. If I can... Oh, how much can I say? How much can I say? Very soon, there will be announcements. I didn't really think this through about how much I could really say. I'm very excited for the future. I think you all will be very happy. Man, I really painted myself into a corner that I can't say more than that. I'm so sorry. I really can't say more than that. I'm trying to think what's the best way. He did, yeah, man. He did, sorry, Anubis, yeah. He did, he threw a promo up. What a nice guy. Like when, I had connected through, his PR management and we were talking and usually I'm like, all right, here's how we're going to connect. Here's the thing. And then she wrote back, she goes, hey, he wants to know if you guys do like graphics or anything because he wants to help promote it. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we do. We put out graphics, but I used to send them to back in the day, I used to send them to the talent agents and the PRs and all that. They never used them. So I was like, I'm just going to stop. I haven't done it in a while. So for her to come and be like, hey, we want to help promote. I was like, that's phenomenal. Thank you. Hopefully he had some of his people show up and watch and enjoy. I feel like I always feel bad because it's like a lot of times I'm sure the people that would support you are like, we've heard all these stories, we've heard it, we've heard the stories, whatever. And you're such a tease. Yes. It won't be long now. Realistically, some of the things that I want to talk about, in the next month or so. Where are we? April 29, almost May. So yeah, the next month or so, I should be able to talk about some stuff. I will say this, for those that are Patreon members out there, I'm thinking I might share some of the bigger news. Yeah, I might share some of the news, and so you'll be in the know. Under an unofficial NDA, you'll be in the know of some of the things that are being worked on behind the scenes here at Pop Culture Warrior, WCF Nation Radio, at U.S. Army WTF Moments, the whole gig. But very excited as to the future. What do we got coming up? Nemo from Weekend Co-ops is going to PAX East this weekend. I want to say I think it's this weekend. Is it this weekend or next weekend? One of these weekends. He's going to PAX East, so that's gonna be huge. I told him to go ahead and use Pop Culture Warrior. Throw, that's gaming content, so he can put it on his own socials, and he can put it on our socials, whatever. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Anubis. That's Billy. I know that's you, Billy. Mr. Bunting, happy birthday to you on Saturday. Many, many, many wishes to you. Happy wishes. Hopefully you have a great, great birthday. So we got that. I know what else? There's so much shit we're juggling. We have Thunderbolts is coming out, which is great. I'm gonna see that. He's going to PAX East. I've got San Diego Comic-Con coming up. This is when I tell you, a boy in his dream. Going to San Diego Comic-Con has been my dream for as long as I can remember. And I've been to the White House half a dozen times. I've been to the Pentagon. I've been, I rang the bell at the NASDAQ stock exchange. I mean, I've done some really cool things. I've been on stage, Gotham Comedy Club in New York City. I did a set. I've shared the stage with Janine Garofalo and Nikki Glazer, and I performed for fucking Jimmy Carter, man. Jesus Christ. I've done some crazy out of this world. I've gone to dinners with celebrities. I've hung out with presidents. I hung out with George Bush and Clinton on the same day at an event. I've done sporting events. I've been on baseball fields. I've been on fucking football fields. I've walked on ice at a stadium. I've driven on a NASCAR track, not in a fucking race, but I've driven a NASCAR car, a stock car on a NASCAR track. It was the one in Pennsylvania. Fucking God. I've been to the Dover Speedway, but what was the one in the Poconos? The Pocono 500, where that one is. I've done that one. I've done some truly ridiculous, crazy, back and forth from Germany to Italy. I've been to Israel. I've been to Spain. I've been to fucking Jamaica, and all across the Bahamas, Central America, South America. I've done all these crazy things, but in my life, the thing that was like the Mecca, the Holy Land, the fucking top of the hill has been San Diego Comic-Con. I'm so glad I got to do E3 before it went away, because that was like second to San Diego Comic-Con. So I got to do E3 the second to last. I did it in 2019, and then they had a sort of one in 2020, and then it went away. So thankfully I got to do that. But yeah, San Diego Comic-Con, man, that is the dream. That is the I'm so happy. And yeah, E3 was great back in the day. Yeah, back in the day. When I went, it was still E3. It might have been the last year that it was E3. They were just promoting Spider-Man 1 for PS5 or PS4 or whatever it came out on. I remember that was one of the big things. Days Gone By had a big showcase. I went to the Sony showcase and did a bunch of things. And actually, Sony was really, really nice. It was a group of us veterans that went. There's a great organization called Stack Up. It's a veterans gaming organization based out of LA. And so they took us to E3 and they got us this exclusive Sony panels and behind the scenes with Sony VR, before it had been announced, and really cool stuff. But yeah, that was that. In fact, that's where I got the Nuka-Cola that sits back here. Let me zoom out. The Nuka-Cola that hides right back there. Well, I got that at San Diego Comic-Con. That, and what's the other thing I got? I got a T-shirt. I got a bunch of stuff from that experience at E3. But anyway, yes. All that to say, I thank you, the fans, you, the audience, you, the participants, you, the people that make this show possible. Because if not for you, I would never, not only am I going to San Diego Comic-Con, I have press passes. I have press credentials. So while it is costing me an arm and a leg to fly out there and to stay out there and eat and travel and all that stuff, like I didn't pay anything for the passes to go. And I will have opportunities to interview people and take pictures and shoot video and attend things. I will have access that the typical person, even though it's hard enough to get tickets to San Diego Comic-Con. It's damn near impossible nowadays. But I will have a level of access, and it's only because of you guys. It's very, very, I'm very appreciative, and I never forget just how fortunate and lucky I am. So again, I thank you guys for always being a part of the show, and showing up, spending time, saying stuff in the chats and participating. And whether you're not a Patreon member, appreciate you. Whether or not you go to pcwgear.shop and pick up merchandise, I appreciate you. Just you being here and participating or watching or laughing at our nonsense or following our page or whatever it is. It means the world to me, and it will never stop meaning the world to me. So with that, before I get too emotional and mushy, oh man, there's so many things I want to talk about, but I can't. I'm not allowed to yet. Oh, there's so many things. But I can let some of it slip on the Patreon. I will. I'll post about it on the Patreon page, and there's a couple smaller things that I can share privately. As long as you guys promise not to share the word, because if you do, then I can't share that stuff anymore. But all right, real quick roundup for anybody that may not be familiar. Let's talk about WTF Nation Radio. And we start our week on Sundays because, if you learned anything, Sunday is the first day of the week. That's what the calendar says anyway. Sunday, sports bar, King and Coach, when they decide to do it. The running gag here. When they decide to show up. And like Anubis says, it's always a great show when you show up. Rarely when you show up. Sports, they're awesome. I'm a diehard football guy. I used to follow a lot more sports. I just don't have the time anymore. So it's just football for me, but they do a great job. They talk about all the stuff. And dude, we just had the NFL draft. What a show that was. If you know football and the whole Shador Sanders drama, wow. All I guess is wow. Wow. I mean, my God. But anyway, I'm sure if you know about it, you've heard about it, and you've heard about it to death by now. Monday edition, Ice and Massey bringing you news, commentary, discussion about all the things happening around the world. That is our news station. That is our news broadcast. Know the news. Be informed. Don't just watch pop culture stuff. Actually, no, just watch pop culture stuff. You'll be much happier in life if you just... That's the problem with the world today. Too many people worrying about what everybody else is doing. Fucking go watch a show and play a video game and just mellow the fuck out. Pop some edibles. Just chill out. You'll be much happier. Which brings us to Tuesdays, right here on Pop Culture Warrior. Yeah, you're welcome. Wednesdays is the Smoke Pit with Radar and TZ. Wishing Radar a speedy recovery. I know he's been having some back issues, and he's trying to get back. We've been talking privately. He's trying to get back in the saddle. He's trying to get back to it. Needs just a little bit more time to heal up and recover, and hopefully he'll be back soon and doing his stuff. So we really wishing him the best and speedy recovery as he gets back into fighting shape. So Sergeant's Time is on Thursdays with Ice and Spanky, and God bless him. They are the cornerstone, I feel like, of this entire operation. Monday Edition and Sergeant's Time is the cornerstone of everything that WTF Nation Radio stands on and has been around forever. And in fact, as I look around, it's funny, as I look around the station, that's all that's left from when I joined. Monday Edition and Sergeant's Time. They were the only two shows, or they're the only two shows still around that from when I started. So, God, does that make me one of the old hats now? Jesus Christ. Ugh. I feel so old. All right. Anyway. I'm having an existential crisis all of a sudden. Fridays, every other Friday, is FTX, Friday Night Tabletop Exercise. You know it, you love it. If you're ever in the, we'll just say, Maryland area, and it's a Friday night, come on down. Join us. Open door, open table, open seat at the table of FTX, the altar of FTX. I got some. We played, what was it? Oregon Trail. The last time we played, dude, that game was brutal. I mean, it makes sense. It's based on the Oregon Trail video game, which was brutal. And anyone that said they finished it was a liar. And we did not finish, or we did not make it alive. We all died a lot. But yeah. And then that leaves us with Saturdays, weekend co-ops. Nemo, like I said, probably won't be streaming this weekend because he'll be at PAX. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he will, but I don't think he will. He'll do something. I'm sure he'll post something or do something. But anyway, that is everything here at WTF Nation Radio. Once again, thanks, Mad Mike. Thanks to Brian Norris, our guest. Thank you, the audience. I have a lot more coming. Finalizing. Let me see if I got an answer on the finalizing a lot of interviews. It's been it's the season. It's starting to get back into like interview PR season with everything that happened with the wildfires, with the strikes, so much stuff was happening, and then because of that, so many shows were delayed and movies were delayed, and so then everybody went back to work, and that's why it's been kind of quiet because everybody's busy working and not promoting. But we're starting, the Tribeca Film Festival, which we got invited to. First year ever, I got invited to the Tribeca Film Festival, which is crazy. I would 100% do it, but I think it's like happening around the time of my vacation, so that didn't work out great. But yeah, dude, we're getting so much more invitations to stuff, and I almost slipped up. I almost said something. Lots coming down the line, and we'll be talking about that real soon. Just hang in there with me. Next week is the 6th, and I believe I won't be here. What day is this? This is the 29th. Yeah, because Friday I am flying out to Colorado. I'll be in Colorado for 5 days. So realistically, I'm getting back on Tuesday. I'm getting back on the 6th of May. Could I go live? Probably. Will I go live? Probably not. I'm probably going to be white. It's a long trip. We're doing a lot over those 5 days. I'll probably just be getting back like a couple hours before showtime, if that, and I'll be wiped out. Yeah, I probably won't. And then that'll be an FTX week. So we will have FTX next Friday. Not this Friday, next Friday. The 9th, right? Yeah, the 9th. That will be a game night. So there won't be any, well, I'll see if Mad Mike and maybe Angry Elf want to run a pop culture If not, there'll be no show Tuesday, and then we'll be back Friday with FTX. So, all right, I've talked your ear off enough. Go forth, do great things, love thy neighbor. Just don't be a dick. Like that's just don't. Just you don't gotta be nice to people. Just don't be a dick. It's just the world is just such a shitty place right now. Just try to bring a little joy to it. Try to laugh, smile. I don't know. Say something nice to somebody. If we could all just be a little nicer, I think the world would be a great place. Anyway, with that, thank you all for tuning in. Have a great week. I'll see you next Friday, and I'll let you know if the guys will be here on Tuesday. But we'll see you guys next week. Shots.